Well, good evening, everyone. That was, yeah, that was a thing. That was really a thing. So, let's go ahead and get the audience back in on this one.
Since I'm not a veteran, I'm gonna head out.
You know, you don't have to run away, Micro. You were part of the fun. You can stick around if you want for
Fair
this.
enough. Fair enough. I
Because-
just like.
well,
I mean, the show is kind of like meant to be for the veterans, so I was like, I'm gonna step out just out of courtesy.
It is, but at the same time, the beginning part of this really is going to be an after. Wait, would it be an after show or an after call?
It would be an after call, Jared.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stay around.
Okay, I'll stay for that part, and then I will skedaddle.
Say, I'd appreciate it. I like your company.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I think Red forgets what day of the week it is.
Because
motherfucker's going live right now. So, does someone want to go give him shit that I'm already live?
The devil's calling for him.
What the fuck is this?
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, but you can still give him shit about it.
How do you do that? Is that Mind Show the same thing as Twink Skeptic?
No, I'm using a program called Face Rig.
Oh, and now I gotta.
How does that work?
To that
It's called
hangout.
Face Rig?
Oh, he gave you the link, huh? Yeah, you fucking bastard.
It's a separate program that you run, and then it streams as your secondary camera instead of your actual USB camera, and then your camera.
You use your camera, and this just overlays you.
Yeah, it face tracks my.
I love it. They have beavers. Fucking right.
Hang on. No, I got something better for you. Here you go. How's this?
Cheeseburger.
Oh God.
Hey, I'm gonna hang out for the after party too, but I'm finishing eating something. Muting myself.
Okay, that's better. The burger thing was like being on like there was some like acid shit.
Oh no, you want some
Red
really
is doing
tricky.
it just
Here.
because he's bored.
Here you go.
Oh no.
Oh,
All right,
shocking.
So Jared, should we announce the contest and actually who won it before
Nah.
we get into the shit show?
Nah,
Or should we wait? Should we wait on the actual winner to appear first before?
Yeah, let's wait for the actual winner to show up if they show up.
Okay. Yeah, if he shows.
But in the meantime, as promised, you know what? We'll get right into the genesis of all of this. So, who won't... You know what, Pig? It's not going to be you reading it, because honestly, you fucking suck. But who is going to play the part of the mental midget? Who thinks they can capture the essence of it?
I couldn't make myself.
I want Micro to do it. He's got that accent.
Yeah. Yeah, Micro.
I concur with that.
Fine.
Oh.
Bad at reading. Okay.
Alright, you guys are going to see the... everything there. Now let's go ahead and zoom in to make this...
This is going to be painful.
It's English.
So I'm assuming he's up to mine.
Yes.
There we go. I got the government shield ready.
Oh, no, the audience can't see it.
Oh, okay.
The rest of the panel can. I can't, so... haha. I get to see what the audience sees. So, there we go. So, go ahead.
Are we live?
Me.
Oh, yeah, we're live.
The Boston Marathon bombing was a psychological operation. It was a hoax.
That's quite the opinion you have there. Are you able to explain that to those who were there and those that are now amputees?
Easily. They were already amputees. And the whole thing was a simulation training exercise. In parentheses, as one can prove by showing Erica Brannock's, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, already healed amputation as she is carted off the sidewalk in the parentheses. Not sure why he put that in parentheses.
I don't know. So you have definite evidence that each injured person that lost a limb were already amputees before it took place? Let's see it.
I already said, semicolon, Erica Bannock's already healed amputation is clearly visible. Clearly visible in the visual evidence. Great sentence. So let's talk about you. ... What did you, in all caps, see when you were there? Or are you just claiming to be in Boston at the time with nothing to do with the hoax? You can call me anytime at his phone number.
You mentioned one person, a claim that I have been unable to independently substantiate. What of the 12 others reported to have lost a limb, or the 3 that have been reported to have lost multiple limbs? I simply asked if you had definitive evidence that they were amputees prior to the incident, such as an image of the people from any number of months prior to April 2013 showing the lack of a limb. Do you? Can you actually substantiate your claim, or can you not?
I just told you one example, which by itself proves the whole thing was staged. No, it fucking doesn't. But there's a great amount of evidence showing it all was. Now, what about your claim of being there? Do tell. ...
I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. You are either unable or unwilling to substantiate your claim with actual evidence. Instead, you made another claim. Once you can provide evidence, such as visual confirmation of each of the 16 people you claim to have been amputees prior to the event, as actually being amputees prior to the event, then I will take the time to dig from my archive the customer site I was on that day. Savvy?
I just proved it through one example for which you have no response to. Do you deny the images in question? Or do you not even know they exist?
No.
Punctuation is terrible. That's why I'm fucked up.
No, you made a claim. I asked you to support or substantiate that claim. And instead, you made another. Please provide definitive evidence that all of the reports of amputation victims were actually people that were already amputees. Given the culture of picture taking that was still present 7 years ago, this should be an easy task for you. You've made multiple claims. Please provide the evidence to support them.
I made a claim it was a hoax and proved it was by telling of the image showing Erica Bannock's to have an already healed amputation as she lay on the stretcher on
Boylston? Yep.
Okay, Boylston Street that very day. You continue to deny that evidence as if it doesn't exist. You are the one who needs to respond to my rock solid proof. It's rock solid, guys. I've already spent years studying this hoax, and you have said nothing of value concerning it.
Rock solid, you say? She was an amputee before April 2013, along with all the others, you say? So where are the pictures of her missing any portion of her left leg that predate Patriots Day 2013? Or any of the other people? You're making a claim based off one image, which you have mentioned but not offered. Your analysis of the image and the resulting conjecture is your claim, not the evidence to support it. Evidence to support your claim would be to show definitively that her, and all the others, were amputees prior to April 2013. Can you or can you not provide such evidence? Don't just repeat the claim yet again. Provide supportive evidence, not from the event in question, which shows validity to your claim of them being amputees prior to April 2013. Do you finally understand how to support a claim? Or are you still going to stammer on like a mental midget? Oh, and just for shits and kicks, tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for a dramatic reading of this entire comment thread.
Hey, do you have Facebook Pro?
And now we bow.
Hey, I just want to apologize. When I chose Micro, I thought he'd be more like a Bond villain, but yeah.
You're thinking of Geo.
So we have quite the
I thought he'd be
question.
like a Danish Bond villain who would speak in.
So we have quite the question from the live chat. Is Play-Doh really a rock?
No, it's a clay.
Yeah.
No, it's a gluten-based product. It's made out of flour and salt.
So it's a. What you're saying is it's a wheat clay.
It's a wheat toy.
And when you grew up
until you leave it out in the sun for 12 hours, and then you throw it against your older brother and see the bruise that it forms.
So
if you grew up in the late 70s and 80s, you would have ate that shit.
So
I did grow up in the late 70s and early 80s, and I didn't eat it.
Well, maybe that's just why you had a heart attack.
Fuck you.
You know, the funny thing is, the funny thing is, Play-Doh tastes like Play-Doh. Like, the description of that taste is Play-Doh.
You know, before they healed, I should have showed you guys. I should have sent you guys pictures of the shock imprints that they left on my body where they shot their shit up. No, they hit me with that gel pad that's connected to what they would have used the paddles on.
Yeah, it's like the
on
electrolyte.
the defibrillator. Yeah, it's the electrolyte setup that they used there at the hospital. But man, that sucker left a mark.
Nice.
Oh my God, they hit me with that twice.
So, BM Furball just said in the chat a moment ago, I say you should call him live.
No.
Oh yeah, we
should. No, because damn it, I'm not gonna have Pig win. I'm not gonna have Pig win $200 because I have another fucking heart attack.
Furball, where were you for the past 2 hours? We had him on here.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. Did I get a little too heated? Because I was pretty wound up.
No.
I
got wound up.
You were entirely justified.
Yeah.
I got wound up. I know I did.
Yeah, it's like if you paint houses for a living and then someone comes along and say paint is fake.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck have I been doing the last 24 years? Oh.
Which, here's the thing. I was not kidding. Had he actually provided evidence, I would have taken the time to dig out whichever archive external hard drive I have all those work files from for a company I am no longer employed by, just to find out which client site I was at that day. Because I was there in downtown Boston at the Prudential Center, a few blocks away from where the finish line was. I just can't remember which client I was actually at that day. But as I was leaving, I heard it. I was close enough to hear it, but I was not close enough to see the immediate aftermath. But when trying to get closer to figure out what was going on, the police had already started setting up a barricade to prevent people from adding to the chaos.
Right. Well, you know that debate that you moderated here, what was 2 weeks ago for me? Mm-hmm. That guy is also a Boston bomber denialist, but I wasn't going to bring that up out of respect for Craig.
Huh. So here's my search query. I'm noticing a lack of images of her on a stretcher.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
And you know what's even funnier is the one that I see of an amputee is covered.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you don't surprise. You don't leave an open wound like just out for everyone to see.
Yeah. Where was that?
Just to give you a kind of heads up, you're not really going to find anything like that in there, but I'm not going to try and say what sites you can go to, but if you're looking for that kind of thing, there are sites who do specialize in that kind of thing. So and those are the ones that I went to kind of get the when they're talking about this was this and this was that, I actually went to those kind of sites to actually get the unfiltered shit. Yeah, you can easily debunk them.
Yeah, actually, if you could scroll back up, there was an interesting picture that I saw on the way.
So now I'm curious, was my request for him to provide anything demonstrating that any of the people were amputees prior to April 2013, was that too far? Was that too much of a stretch?
No,
it was perfectly reasonable. No, I meant the other way. Scroll back up.
Oh, I'm at the top, so I'm going back down.
Oh, okay. It'll be to the right, all the way to the right. Keep going.
Yeah, there are gore sites out there if you really want to get the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah,
I would rather not.
Oh, there you go.
What the? Whoa! Hang on.
No,
go back up. Go back.
Yeah,
Yep, right there. Second row.
Right there?
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I was talking about.
That's a different kind of bombshell.
Yeah. But that
was broad taste.
But that's in every direction.
Yeah, but when the thing is, when a bomb, like those kind of pressure vessels go off, they usually will fracture around the weld where the welds are before they start ripping apart. They basically will blow up like a balloon, but they don't. They basically will kind of will follow weld seams is where they usually will crack open. So if the weld seam's at the bottom, then the walls themselves will usually shoot straight up. If the weld seam is on the side, it'll basically kind of peel open like a book or like a banana, and then it basically just flies.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at too. And if you look at a fragmentation grenade, it's bumpy on purpose. Yeah. So that's what I was trying to get at. But the thing was, this guy he didn't have any sort of foundation for the things he was saying.
I know more.
I smelled it as soon as he said it. Because I've dealt with pressure vessels shit in Iraq before. They were in the beginning until they started becoming like black market stuff. But the insurgents were using a lot of propane canisters, were their easy way of making something, and they pretty much had the same effect. Be a big black mark on the ground, and then there was a bunch of shit flying through the air, and sometimes it was. One area would be more exposed than the other because this is how the fucking canister ripped apart. And if the seam opened up in a direction where there was nothing, that's where nothing was. It is what it was.
Right, and that's why the bottom part of the vehicles are V-shaped because it directs that pressure wave away. Yeah,
but it's just like. What I'm just trying to say is, he kind of thinks when he thinks, he's basically using the bomb kind of weird. It's basically just, way he's using bomb is where you would think like a 500-pound bomb or a large 200-pound bomb. He's using that word very disingenuous. It was a bomb, yes, but it doesn't have the fragmentation. It wasn't designed to blow up in all directions with equal amount of force and send shrapnel everywhere. It was basically just a fucking two guys put a bunch of crap inside a pressure vessel, sealed it up, and then when it went off, we don't know exactly what it could have been the walls that fucking failed, the weld seams, the cap went off, but it's not going to be this thing where it digs a hole in the fucking ground and then there's shrapnel everywhere. The thing is fucking very imprecise, and like I said, if the weld seam was facing away from a building or a chair or something like that, when it fucking blew outwards, it just basically all it is like a balloon. It just pops. It's
right.
It's not a bomb.
He got all his information from YouTube.
That and other conspiracy sites and other shit like that. That's why I say when it's talking about tourniquets and whatnot, I've not only dealing with this stuff, but I've gone through gore sites to get the actual nitty. When they'll say it's not this and it's not that and there's no blood, so I would actually go to gore sites to actually find the unfiltered shit, and there's stuff everywhere. So
yeah. Well, this guy is the perfect example of getting your education from AJ University. And no, I'm not going to say his name, who AJ is. You can look it up on yourself or by yourself. Pig will probably masturbate to AJ's image, but that's...
Pig will masturbate to anything.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, though, if you look,
I will say that AJ's been banned from several social media platforms, including YouTube.
The thing is with this guy is you can tell. Not only was he very disingenuous, but every time he talked, and especially when he got cornered, he would do that little laugh and giggle of his, and that whole thing is for his brain to give his brain a couple seconds to figure out a way to get out of what he just fucking said. He's always giggling, and he's saying, "Well, I'm just a happy-go-lucky guy, and I just do that." No, you're doing it for a reason, and it's every time you got cornered or somebody was basically pointing holes in your fucking theory or your whole fucking your way of thinking, you would giggle to give yourself a little bit of time to kind of think something out more, and then you would you'd snap right into it, because you could tell when he got very defensive, he was he wasn't giggling. But as soon as he got to the point where he didn't have an answer anymore, that's when he would giggle and kind of try and change this topic. Like I said, give his brain a little bit more, a couple milliseconds to kind of figure out an answer, and that's where he kind of ran with it.
Yeah,
it was the tactic.
It was panic.
Yeah.
Was I the only person that he fucking made angry, though? That's why I started getting so upset. I was like, this guy's fucking pissing me off.
Honestly,
that's the whole reason why I left the meeting is because I was not going to get so pissed off I had another heart attack.
Well, he is Canadian.
I started having chest pains. I went and ate. I think maybe it was indigestion in my case, but I was getting upset. I was like, I gotta eat.
So I don't fault you for getting angry, but my mentality is more legitimately laid back than his, because if you notice, I was not aggressive in the commentary. Even when I came on towards the end, I was not aggressive. I was firm, but not aggressive, because I'll be honest, as I was reading his comments and the manner in which he decided to reply, his argumentation was so sad and pathetic, it made me laugh.
What argumentation?
Exactly.
Right.
His whole argumentation. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say. I say we call him just to prove that he won't answer.
Well, here's one thing about why everybody was kind of talking over him, because in the beginning he would go on these fucking long ass fucking monologues and nobody got a word in. So everybody's like, okay, enough of this bullshit. We're just going to step in on you too, because otherwise you're just going to go into this 5-minute tirade about something, and we have to try and deal with every one of your fucking claims in this 5-minute tirade. We're not going to do that. We're just going to butt in when you're fucking saying something stupid, and then we'll just deal with it from there.
Well, I think like longest of the rants he decided to go on was when he decided to claim that, what was it, like I said that he hadn't shown that was the case, by which I meant like he hadn't shown it to me, he hadn't provided enough evidence for that, and I basically said, asked him like, how the fuck do you know what's in my mind? And he decided to go on this long, like I think he spoke for like a minute at least, just kept fucking going, and it was the same thing over and over again. If that's not defensive, I don't know what is.
Well, yeah, you could tell his brain. You can tell his brain has kind of like a script he goes on. Once he starts talking about one thing, he has to follow with a certain thing, and another certain thing, and another certain thing.
It's almost the same thing with the laughter. He just starts talking while he's trying to formulate a thought to stall for time.
Of course.
I mean, normal people say.
And don't forget, if you haven't done your research, for him, doing your research means your research must agree with me. If you don't, sorry. I'm just here in silence.
We're letting you speak.
Yeah. You kind of stop yourself. No? Okay.
Did we lose you, Geist?
Somebody made some. Yeah.
What?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, no, we were being quiet and letting you speak, and you were like, wait. All I hear is silence. It's like, yeah, we're being respectful.
No, well, for me, I just saw Alan's thing on the screen, so I just thought he was talking, so I just went quiet.
Oh.
He's probably confused from the previous conversation. Well, I was about to speak, but yeah, I shut up because Geese got in there first. But what I was going to say was, because it doesn't help that, I don't know about in the States, but over here, we actually do have amputees who do the casualty stuff for major exercises. Because one of my amputee veteran friends used to run a business providing people to do that. In between making a living getting killed by Brad Pitt as a stuntman.
Yeah, in the states we have the amputees, and then when I was stationed at Fort Irwin before I retired, we had civilians who spoke Arabic and stuff like that out there at the sites, and they were amputees. So when they would have like a scenario where like an IE would go off, the soldiers would have to go up and actually deal with a physical amputee who wouldn't speak their language and that kind of thing. That's what we had out there.
The thing is, these conspiracy theorists call them crisis actors, but we call them role players. And if they're the enemy, we call them op for. So I don't know where they got this crisis actor terminology from.
It sounds dramatic.
Right.
Yeah.
You can thank elements of the media like fucking dipshit over there who started InfoWars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
fuck,
AJ.
No, dipshit is much more descriptive.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But did any other veteran on the panel know them by any other name than role players or op for?
Or
well,
or casualties.
Well, to be fair, it's fair. Like
in the army, we had
that term is also applied outside of he's claiming that it's a military exercise, but like the people who think that Sandy Hook was faked. That's not really military in that term.
And even then, the couple of
in the army we had you had role players. Sorry.
Yeah. There were a couple training ops like that around the Pensacola area that I was a part of as a casualty of a mass casualty training event. So there's
in
that.
In the army. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So there's that terminology
in the army.
To it.
Sorry, guys, go ahead.
In the army out of Fort Irwin, which is a national training center, we had role players, which were, like I said, paid civilians that they would get hired to come in for during rotation, and they would live in the cities and the towns, and they would be like I said, that when the soldiers would walk into a town, it would be populated by people who spoke whatever language that they're going to be going to, and had the same mannerisms, stuff like that. So they had to actually use interpreters instead of just playing the game with a bunch of soldiers. And the soldiers who would go out and fight and stuff like that, they would be the op for the opposing force. And if you're doing a town population where you just don't have any role players who are doing specific things, it would just to populate a town, but they didn't have any physical role of anything. They weren't supposed to interact with soldiers. They called them COBs, COBs, civilians on the battlefield, and that's how our terminology always worked.
Yeah, that lines up perfectly with what we did in the Navy.
Because I've had to be up for many times, and a role player, but I was military.
Yeah, I was never a role player. We typically had actual actors to be role players, but op4 was usually guys that had just come back from deployment.
Yeah, at Fort Irwin, the 11th ACR is the op4, so we would play the actual physical soldiers that we either be the insurgents or the soldiers, because we had the mock-ups of the BMPs or the tanks and stuff like that. That's what was our job, and then if we had to attack the American forces like in a town, that was our job. But if there was like a scenario where the American forces were, they call them Blue 4. If the Blue 4 is coming into a town, they would say, okay, have all the role players out, and they'd be doing like shopping and walking across the street. And then we had this one guy in 2012 or 11, actually, they brought sheep out there, and he would do sheep herding within the town to get the sheep around the soldiers. Like that's the soldiers had to interact with the shit. But they would have a scenario say, it was all scripted. the soldiers who are coming there didn't know about that. They just told to go into this town and talk with this mayor. But we would get the script and say, okay, when they come around this corner, there's going to be this pyrotechnic device that's within this concrete, things for protection. But it would go off, and then when it go off, there's going to be this guy and this guy and this guy are going to fall to the ground, and they're going to basically take off their prosthetics, and they're going to be.
Watermelon?
Oh, somebody's got a
I heard
hot
something
mic.
about watermelons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was me. Sorry about that. I was telling my wife to cut the watermelon. We've had it sitting. We've had it sitting.
But everybody
in the
gets kind of the
fridge for
idea.
2 days,
Basically,
so, yeah.
Right.
I
And
mean,
there's
everybody kind of
always-
gets the idea.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's just how we had it. Everything was kind of like I said. When the Americans come around the corner, the Blue Four comes around this corner, and they're talking with the mayor. In the background, we're going to have 3 IDs go off, and these 2 civilians who are playing Iraqis are going to fall to the ground, and they're going to start because they're actual physical amputees, but the Americans can't see it until they come around the corner. Or sorry, they're kind of hiding it. They're kind of leaning against a building, or they're kind of hiding the part of the leg against their amputation, so they can't see it.
Yeah. And we would always
They're
have
already an amputee when they come around the corner. Let's say this thing goes off, and then it's all hidden from the Blue Four.
I think
That
we have
way,
a
when
delay.
it happened,
Yeah.
being quiet,
And no, I think we have a delay.
getting a monologue.
What I was going to say is that we well, not always, but we usually had the one guy who was just a civilian, like in the role. He was playing the role of a civilian, but he was really belligerent. Like he would be screaming at us and like gesturing wildly, just trying to provoke somebody to shoot him. And then once the scenario was over, it's like this was just like the sheep herder dude. But he was really mad that you were coming into his town. He wasn't an insurgent, but you shot him. So what the fuck?
We did that kind of thing. We would do IEDs, like we'd have one go off in a town, so the Americans would have to deal with all the casualties, and then we would kind of leak some information. They would come over to like our, they call it the White Cell. Come over to the White Cell, which would be like us playing the American soldiers, the OPFOR playing the role of like Iraqi police or IAA, which is IAA Iraqi Army, or IPs, or I just said Iraqi police, or Afghani Army, Afghani police. And they would come in and we would tell the Americans, okay, we have some intelligence that we think there might be a bomb making facility at this grid in our town, and we need some help from you with your experience to come in here and help us deal with this because we don't have blah 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 blah. So the Americans go away and come back like a day or two later, and they come back with plans. And we say, no, we don't want that. We want you to bring in helicopters, and we want drones, and we want tanks, and we want all kinds of shit. And we're not happy. And if you don't make us happy, our town's gonna be pissed off. And every time you guys drive through here, we're gonna blow shit up. And that's basically this. If we would either the scenario get ramped up or ramped down, all basically on what the Blue Four would do, and that's how we would do the role playing. But then we would actually have pyrotechnic guys would actually set up buildings with ammonia powder and all kinds of stuff in there. So when they would call the actual EOD to come over, they just would be reacting to some bullshit on the floor. It was actually bomb-making material. It was deck quarters and ammonia powder. It was gasoline. It was jelly gasoline in these containers. So EOD could actually get some training besides just sitting in their trucks doing absolutely fucking nothing because everybody's like, oh, this is fake anyways. No, there's actually shit in that building. You need to go fucking deal with it. And that's how you learn.
Yeah, the hardest one was always the pregnant lady that's walking towards your ECP, and she's holding her belly and she's walking towards the ECP, and you're like, do I fucking shoot her or not shoot her? And you never fucking get it right because when you shoot her, she's pregnant. When you don't shoot her, that belly is a bomb. Every fucking time I got it wrong.
50-50-90.
Yeah. Now, Schrodinger, there was a question from the chat for you. Did your Navy OPFOR dolphins have different squeaks?
Oh, come on. my experience with OPFOR was either on shipboard. It was small boats that were making runs at our ship, a la the Straits of Hormuz. And when I was ground based in expeditionary commands, it was Iraqis / Afghanis. So we didn't really use dolphins. Of course, that is a really good job. If you can get that in the U.S. Navy training dolphins to sniff out mines, that's a great fucking job in the Navy.
I'll tell you one thing about the special forces. I'm sorry if I interrupted anybody.
Well, actually, I'm gonna skedaddle because this has now gone very much over to the veteran talk. So,
All right, Micro. Thank you for
Later,
showing
Micro.
up.
Thanks,
Go
Micro.
have
Mike,
fun.
why doesn't Micro know? Why doesn't Micro know about dolphins?
He's gone. I was
Okay,
gonna
now
say
we can
about-
start talking about the good shit.
Okay. Well, I was going to say about the whole at Fort Irwin. It had like it's a national training center. It's in the middle of fucking desert. Anyways, everybody gets fucking trained. The Marines go there. Fucking Navy guys, Air Force people like that who had to go ground operations. We go there, and also special forces. Not only SEALs, Delta, Rangers, Green Berets, all that fucking crowd. But when you're hired, when these civilians get hired to come over and play role players, they sit them all in a fucking building. And you say, okay, this is what we're gonna be doing today, and today is the Delta Force is gonna be coming through doing operations, and you just see all their fucking, if they're experienced and they've done this many times, like, oh fuck no, not the Delta Force guys, because when the regular Army guys are kind of like dealing with the civilians, it's kind of like kid gloves, like, oh, be nice to them, don't do this. Delta Force and Special Forces and SEALs, when they come in and deal with these fucking role players, and they think somebody's a fucking bad guy, they'll just fucking hogtie the dude, fucking throw him in the back of their fucking truck and disappear for fucking 3 or 4 days. They're like, where's our fucking role player at? Like, we don't fucking know. Go talk to Spartan, the Spartan OCs, get a grid for him, because I guarantee he's on top of a fucking mountain someplace.
Right. But my understanding is those guys get paid.
Oh yeah, they get mega bucks. They just don't like, they like dealing with the American soldiers because the Americans, they're just like, these guys are just normal civilians. So like, okay, come here, sir, put your hand behind your back, and you just do a little fake, put the handcuffs on them or the zip tie shit. Oh no, when fucking Delta Force comes in or fucking Green Berets or SEALs, that guy was a bad guy. Go talk to him. Okay, they run over there, they start talking to him, and they fucking get their interpreter, like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's a fucking bad guy. They'll just fucking throw him to the ground, hog tie his fucking ass to him in the back of a fucking truck, and drive off to their fucking OP somewhere. And because they're doing classified bullshit, you got to go with Spartan OCs. Spartan is the OCs who do OC is observer controllers. Spartan team is the one. Spartan team is the one who deals with special forces guys. So you can't just drive up there to find out what's going on. You got to go with Spartan team and tell Spartan team, okay, you've had the fucking civilian guy for fucking 4 days. You need to bring him back down the fucking mountain because his fucking wife's worried. But they make like fucking, but they make like $4,000 a fucking rotation. The fucking rotation's 14 days.
Yeah, I spent a year at JSOC, so I toured the Delta compound and the DevGru compound. Yeah, just don't fuck with those dudes. They'll shoot you in the face.
It was just funny how they dealt with the role players. So they know they're role players, but they got to actually kind of deal with their shit. So they're just like, you get all the role players in the chow hall are like, okay, today we're doing this, and this, and at fucking 1400, the fucking Army Delta is gonna be coming through doing some intelligence briefing. Like, who wants to be the guy who's fucking the bad guy? And nobody fucking raises their hand. And the guy they call the Wrangler, the guy who deals with the civilians, like, dude, fucking pick Mike over there. Mike seems like a fucking bad attitude today, so Mike's the fucking bad guy. So we're gonna put some intelligence on you, and you're gonna fucking talk to the Navy guy, the Delta guys, but give him a hard time. He's like, I don't want to give him a hard fucking time. I just want to give him the shit and get out of there. Like, nope, this is the deal. That's what you're getting paid for. So yeah, you're gonna get fucking put in the back of a truck and dragged off to some fucking OP somewhere or some operate wherever they got going on some fucking talk, and you sit there like 3 or 4 fucking days as the fucking who are they going to deal with you. And so because you're going to have your Spartan OC who's going to follow you out there so you don't get actually physically hurt, but you're going to be fucking hog-tied, you're going to be fucking hooded, you're going to be fucking dragged in the back of a Humvee, and it's not going to be fucking comfortable. So if you really get fucking scared, talk to fucking Spartan OC, because I don't give a shit.
Yep, that's why they make the money.
Yep, and guys, whose monologue is over.
You know, Jay, all I have to say is, fuck you.
It's had the most adverse effect to me. I haven't heard from Furball. He must be over there drowning in his own drool. Shall I share with everybody?
Go for it.
There we go.
What the fuck is this?
So for those of us who haven't had good barbecue and other gluttonous food in a while,
Bite you.
I highly recommend the smokehouse sandwich. By the way, they also do the smoked meatloaf in a sandwich too.
wait, let's read this one out. Pork, brisket, and coleslaw topped with both spicy barbecue sauce and Carolina mustard, all piled high on a toasted bun.
Sounds like what I had.
Yeah, fuck you too.
I spent my 4th of July in Yosemite barbecuing.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia. We get Carolina barbecue. It's pretty fucking good. Plus, my dad's from Carolina, so he makes it himself.
I can attest to the boy here.
I spent my 4th of July at the local volunteer fire department.
So
usually the place when I go to a restaurant, the first thing I get is a burger. But because this was barbecue, I went with pulled pork and beef brisket. I've yet to touch this side of the menu.
Yeah, so the question has been asked, where is this restaurant located?
This restaurant is located in Shelton, Washington. It is only open Tuesday through Saturday because the bastards think they need 2 days off.
Shelton. I'm trying to remember where Shelton's at. That's Eastern Washington, isn't it?
No, that's Western Washington. It's about half an hour northwest-ish of Olympia.
So
on the western side. Sorry.
Yep, western side.
Yeah, on the western side of the state, but eastern side of the Olympic Peninsula.
Okay.
So
I used to live in Astoria, so
I'm sorry.
So speaking of good barbecue out that way, surprisingly enough, there's at least when I was there, it was still open, up on Whidbey Island in Oak Harbor, barbecue joint. Really simple menu. I think they had a grand total of like maybe 15 items on the menu, including pulled pork, brisket, and your typical smoker barbecue stuff.
Called the barbecue joint?
Yeah. Really simple menu. Damn good food.
Well,
Yeah, when I was in Mississippi, we went to this place that was on. It was featured on one of those TV shows, Dive Bars and whatever, one of those TV shows. And when you pull up, it looks like a barn. It looks like actually a deserted barn. And
they too are closed on Mondays, just like the one here in Shelton.
Yeah.
What is wrong with
side
those
note before I go crazy?
A lot of restaurants close on Mondays. So
Yeah.
it's a very common day off.
But just like the commissary closes on Mondays.
Before everybody goes crazy, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. I'm on my cell and my phone's about to die. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna be.
It was fun, y'all.
Anyway.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself there, guys.
Yeah, guys, thanks for helping me beat up that dumbass.
Dude, they even cater, Jared.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that was a big.
Aziz.
See, yeah, that was a big thing actually in Oak Harbor was if you had the long lunch, oftentimes instead of going to the gym like you were technically supposed to, we would go out there to grab lunch because the lines got fucking ridiculous at that place because it was so good.
Oh yeah.
There was also a restaurant owned and operated by a Japanese family when I was there. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the closest to authentic Japanese food I still have found outside of Japan or one of the outlying islands.
One of the funniest things that's ever happened to me was, so we went to a Japanese restaurant, one of the, what do they call it? Hibachi. When my son, I guess he's 11 now. He was probably about 7 at that point. And the guy comes out and he starts doing his thing with the flipping spatulas and shit. And my son just yells out, "Do you know karate?"
Yeah, I could see your kid saying that.
Yeah, he's very, He's special.
That really is the best way to describe him. And that's just from the little bit that we've seen him when he's popped in on here, which I have to say this. He has done quite well with the impulse control of not busting down the door to come talk to us.
Right. Well, he has a channel now. Did y'all know that?
I do recall you saying that.
Yeah, it's called Science with Winston. He's only got 2 videos so far, but he's beating me up to make it help him make a third. Yeah, it's called Science with Winston, and he's pen pals with Craig's son, Struan. They make videos back and forth to each other.
Nice.
Yeah, well, they're the same age, and they're similar in their the way that they operate.
See, and that's the thing. The internet has been the reason for a lot of fucked up bullshit but at the same time, it was on the island. It was in Oak Harbor. It's one of those when I see the name and the location, it'll come to mind because I want to say it was right on Route 20. Straight up. Nope, not that one. That was a smokehouse. No. It was towards the outskirts of town, so might have been over that way. But while you're looking that up, and that's what I was getting to, Furball. He said in the chat, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't know any of you assholes.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those, do you really want to know us, or are you begrudgingly accepting that?
I'm pretty sure he's begrudgingly accepting
I
that.
think that's Tokyo Stop. I think that was the place. Yes, that's the place.
Now here's the real question: why is Furball only in the chat? Why is he
Work.
not in?
He's at work.
Damn, that's got to be one fucked up case if he's working that.
And it's Saturday morning where he is.
See, and isn't he getting ready to come back to the States for a bit?
Yes.
Work related, yeah. So,
Yes.
Again?
well, he does make the big bucks being a warrant officer.
No,
All right,
that is
I'm
true.
back.
Subject
So,
interview today.
I got a question. Did anyone get paid yet?
No,
No? Okay.
no.
Well, when payment goes through, let me know.
Vic Tunes. Why are you guys torturing me with food? Where X and some other panel members tend to be current military. The only thing that keeps us happy and functioning is the food.
So I got a question for everyone.
We might have
How
an
many
answer.
heart attacks do you think you wish is going to have this year?
Ooh. Including the 3 he's already had?
You mean the 2?
I'm voting 5 in the total year. Actually, no. 4 in the total year. Like, year starts from his first heart attack date on.
Oh, okay. So within the next year, not by the end of the calendar year. Huh.
Yeah.
All of them. That's how many he's going to have.
You have to give a number. We'll place bets. We'll place bets.
Wait, so we're already counting the 2 that he's already had?
Yes,
onto
so
that
far
total?
he's had.
Okay.
So far he's had 2. I'm saying 4. 2 more. He'll have one almost die, and then he'll have another one and die.
See,
He
now
just wants to kill me off, doesn't he?
Wait a minute. Did you put him in your will?
No.
Okay.
The question is, did the
But
wife do
Papa,
something to put him in the will?
No.
are
That
you
you
sure
know
about
of.
Mhm.
that? Me and her's been talking ever since you
Bullshit.
had me. Ask her. Ask
Bullshit.
her about Piggy.
Oh, she knows to stay away from you. Trust me.
Hey, Jared, I got a question.
I'm not saying it. No. What?
No, was saying what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. What's your
Okay.
question?
Out with
So,
it, Jared.
how come you only have 21 watching?
Well, because the conversation has gone away from the dipshit that hung up on us.
Mhm.
Yeah. Why couldn't I call? Why wouldn't it work?
Well, not.
I hit add people and the call button's gone.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, though, Pig, keep in mind, as we went live, so did Red.
Yeah.
He's still live with
the
Steve
call
over there.
button was gone.
And to be fair, he is Cheshire over there too. So I mean, you could.
Hey, you know. No, fuck it. You know, I'm gonna do it. And yes, you people can. No, you won't be able to see it. Okay.
Are you getting your pants off?
Well, shit, I didn't know Cheshire was over there. I might flip.
God damn it!
I'm thinking the same
Okay,
myself.
you know what? Hang on. Twitter. Where are my DMs? Come on, load up.
Who you gonna invite?
DMs.
Okay.
Just let it happen, Pig. Just let it happen.
I'm so excited.
And there we go.
Can you message me if you invited me? Because I have an idea, and if you did, that's gonna be amazing.
Write it in the internal chat, and I'll let you know if it's right.
I'll DM it to you.
I'm not looking at Discord. I have the other chat open. That's why I said use that one.
This is my next project, Jared. That I sent you the Google Drive link.
Oh, this will be interesting.
You want my help? I'm a good artist.
Oh no, this is what I'm going to start with, a little narration over their edited original tweet or comment on their own thread.
Okay.
No, Pig. No.
What about fireworks? Oh, damn it!
No. No. Oh, okay, Pig. Who was it that Schrodinger mentioned before I said, "Ooh, I know who I'm going to invite"?
No idea.
I know.
I wasn't actually here for that. I was too much paying attention to boobies.
Yeah, see, boobies are part of it, which is why I asked who did Schrodinger's cat mention was over on Red's channel before I said, oh, I know who I'm going to invite. So come on, let's see how that young brain works.
I even mentioned this person too.
So, this person is also the reason why I was distracted during the last movie night I was on.
Carrots?
There you go.
Okay. I love carrots. Good on her.
But yeah, so I sent her a DM with the link to the panel. I said, hey, since no movie night, want to join?
If you're going to DM carrots, DM Tornado.
Tornado is not eligible for this panel.
Oh, true.
But you know who else is that? Let's send it to him. Oh, here's a question. So, what has our
Favorite chew toy?
our bolicious Danish redhead been up to lately?
Last I heard, he had some sort of exercise he had to do or something. I don't. Let me see what my last DM from him was.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks.
He's doing that festival thing that with the police that he does with the traffic control and the comms stuff.
Okay, that explains it then.
What did you do now, Pig?
It's more like what he didn't do.
Or what he always does.
Yeah,
that's what I'm afraid of.
You know, I mean, where is Bo Hobo at? I mean, where's Bo at?
I didn't realize how far back it was.
Holy. So this is how infrequently I check my Twitter. There were too many notifications for it to even say 99 plus.
I didn't tag you that many times, I swear.
Oh no, it's all people talking in another Twitter thread that's been going on for God knows how long.
4 months or so, something about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know which thread you're talking about.
Yeah. So Jared, I bought a little. My son and I are building a little robot kit that we bought, and it requires soldering.
Oh,
and
fun.
holy fuck, I am rusty at soldering. Yeah, it took me a full like 2 hours just to be able to remember how to make a decent solder joint.
Please tell me you at least remembered to tin the wire or the connector.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, but just it's a perishable skill. It's sort of like shooting. If you haven't done it in a while, you get really bad at it really fast.
Do you?
Yes.
I've never found that problem with shooting or soldering.
Oh no, I'm talking about soldering circuits onto a circuit board, not like tinning wires. Like tinning wires is no big deal, but I'm talking about under a magnifying glass, putting circuits onto a board. It's so hard to get them just right because it's so easy to bleed over onto the next the next leg of that chip. And I haven't done it in like 5 years, but it took me a couple of hours to even just get the hang of it again.
A little bit of flux would get rid of that problem because then it increases the surface tension.
Oh no, yeah, I was using flux, but it's just it just took a little while. And I used to just be able to like go over there and bang out a chip in like 2 minutes.
Now, I will say this, since Fino has left, so who called the hookers and who has the blow?
Well, Kyle has the blow.
No, not who is going to blow, who has.
He also has
I
the
thought
blow.
it was Geist.
Oh, okay, fair point.
I was gonna say I thought it was Geist's turn to call all that in.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have all the connections?
Is it? Fuck, that's why he ran away, the little bastard.
Yeah, he should have some Black Op funds he can throw in.
On top of all that NASA show money.
Right.
Shh, wait a minute. Wait, oh, I forgot Furball was out there. Shh, can't talk about that shit anymore. So, Blitz, how you been? And muted.
He's been raptured since there's no movie night.
Oh my god, they killed Blitz.
You bastard.
Blitz,
Now
don't
can you
speak
hear
if
me?
I can stick it in your butt. Oh, god damn it.
Yes, now
Anyway.
we can hear you.
This is probably going to be the last time I'm going to be able to attend any of these because I'm switching to the weekend night shift at work. But
I know that feeling.
See, sometimes it's all about timing, and schedule changes like that fucking suck, and I know how that goes because in the next couple days, my minion at work is actually going out to Buffalo for a week and a half. So it's like, what the fuck? So I got to deal with 2 major projects and making sure everything keeps running and finishing up any of the work that he had left behind that's due in the week, and it's... Why are you looking at a blue microphone, Mr. Road Enthusiast?
Hey, this is an XLR one. It's okay.
I once had a blue Spark. It was an XLR. It broke within like 4 months, and then I took it apart and threw it away. Because at that point, I was just done with blue. I didn't even do the warranty program because it was just a shit mic.
I got it for 20% off, so because I registered my Yeti, and it gave me a coupon code.
Okay.
So
justifiable.
justifiable.
Give me a microphone.
But you...
all the ones you have.
You have a mod mic. What do you need a microphone for?
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
don't you
don't need
already have one?
that.
I mean, don't you already have the equipment, Pig?
No, my dog ate that microphone. I saved up a lot of money for that microphone, and he ate it.
I'm sure you did.
Oh.
Let's see, what are they going for on Amazon right now?
Kristen Frost, that's a mic? I thought it was something else. With 3 speeds. Oh, only 3 speeds? What, you didn't want to shell out for the upgraded version?
At least get some patterns.
I would have done it if I was really buying it for Pig, but since I wasn't,
Yeah, Jay Brown, that microphone that you recommended.
Yay,
to me,
you bought it for me, guys. You heard it here live.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Jay, once I got this microphone sorted out that you recommended, I'm pretty happy with it. I did buy a boom for it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, like I said, it's a nice entry level. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not, the higher end stuff, like a Shure
for the
SM7B.
price. Yeah, and the boom for it was like $13.
Really, that was it?
Yeah.
Is it like a traditional mic stand boom?
Well, it clips to the corner of my desk, and I can move it around whichever way I want.
Oh, it must be a newer.
Yeah, the only thing I had to do was where it actually connects to the actual microphone was too small, but the little tripod that came with the microphone, I just unscrewed it and screwed it onto the boom, and good to go. Nobody's complained about my volume since, so it apparently works.
Something like this here. Schrodinger.
Yes, precisely. That's the exact one that I have.
It's like I know people's minds when it comes to audio stuff.
Yeah, no, that's the exact one I bought. It's great. I can't. I don't have any complaints with it at all.
If you were to, here, let me turn on my cam here for a second. Where did that bastard go? If I were to put this on there, I would break the springs in about a week.
Oh yeah, it would be too heavy. But the microphone that I bought, the Samsung, all I had to do was that little.
There should have been a 5/8 to 3/8 adapter on there.
Yeah, I just unscrewed that and screwed in the one from the tripod that came with the microphone, and it works great.
So I'm curious, if that microphone would break the stand, how quickly would the one you're currently using do that, Jay?
You're muted.
No one tell him. Fuck.
I caught it, Jared. It'd be about the same time because with this and this equals about the same as this.
Just that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I meant to weigh these.
Yeah. I'm an amateur, so I'm working with amateur equipment here.
Speaking of which, my
I'm not
My,
even sure I
mixer's
qualify
being
as an
sent off.
amateur.
I'm having my road mixer sent off.
So what would? Okay,
I apologize.
who stepped on the duck?
That was
That
in my
would have been-
pants. I'm sorry.
That would have been me. I was groaning because I was shifting positions.
So it wasn't my farting that went through?
No.
Okay, good.
There was. No, I lost my train of thought now. Fuck.
Congratulations.
Welcome to being older.
No, it's being fucking exhausted. As let's just say I miss having central air conditioning.
Well, you're in Rhode
Really?
Island. I mean,
Older.
how necessary?
Yeah.
is
No,
I love central air
no,
conditioning,
it's-
and I gained it.
So for those who are wondering, yes, in New England it gets fucking cold in the winter, but at the same time, we're kind of like the Midwest where we get the ridiculous heat at the same time.
For like 4 weeks.
Oh no, we're
Like 2 months.
yeah, but here's the difference. In mid Michigan, it would get hot, but the humidity stayed tolerable. Here, we're getting the heat, but being right on the water on top of it, the only place I've been that it is worse is along the coast in Georgia and Florida.
Well, that's like in Bahrain. Bahrain is the only place that you can be in the desert and have it humid as fuck also.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's an island.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, you're on the water, it'll be fine. It's like, yeah, at night it is, and early morning, but in the middle of the day, fuck no.
I found you a new microphone, Jared, for your work phone.
Will it work for the work phone is the question.
It's got the lightning cable or lightning plug.
Interesting.
That's nice.
Well, it's $99 though.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, you just get a headset. No, use a headset.
Yeah, but even headsets are kind of eh.
I know what I've offered to Jared, but I'm still trying to work out if I'm going to be able to do it or not with my phone.
So, logical troglodyte. Oh yeah, I remember. That. As long as that works, it should work. Should do beautiful. So, logical troglodyte in the chat said it's still better than freezing. Here's the thing to remember: in the winter, you can keep putting on more layers. In the summer, you can only take off so much before people start calling the cops.
See, Pete, that was your problem.
You just grab your fig leaf loincloth.
Try being in boot camp out on the grinder.
I like the cold.
Summer and fire retardant dungarees.
Oh God.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
See,
Now,
there's a
when I was
reason
in-
why I
Go
waited
ahead.
till September to ship out to boot camp.
I did August. I caught the tail end of it.
Oh, I forgot.
It was
In Orlando.
Yeah.
It was very funny for me when I was in boot camp because Navy boot camp is up in Great Lakes,
Yep. I waited till
Yeah.
March.
and I was there from June until September. I think.
Oh, it
sounds
sounds
about right. That sounds about right.
Oh, so you did A school there as well.
Yeah, but as it got into September and the temperature started going down, most of my division was from Texas. So it gets down to about 60, and my whole division is going, it's fucking freezing. And I'm going, it's 60, it's still warm.
Ooh.
You had guys from the valley. You had guys from San Antonio all the way down to Brownsville. If you ran into that, because the guys from North Texas, we didn't complain about it being 60 degrees and being cold. We were kind of like, state fair weather here.
You want cold? Try Minot, North Dakota.
Oh yeah, my dad served there.
Oh yeah, trust me. It got it when I was up there. It got as cold as -55.
That's Air Force, right? You were Air Force? Yeah. My dad was. He served in Minot.
So from
He had a Labrador that would sleep buried in the snow.
oh, my couch potato lab. It starts snowing. She loses her goddamn mind.
Oh, they love it.
I mean, this is a dog that would be happy if she only ever left the couch to eat and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's she's
they love
5.5 years old. She's not even an old dog, and she's just that kind of couch potato. But in this weather, she'll try to lay on the couch next to me and then try to wiggle her way onto my lap, and it's like, no, dog, it's too fucking hot for that shit.
Yeah, they do that little. Dog, please. They do that little sort of crawl, like they're barely moving. They're just inching their way up onto your lap.
Oh no, with her, when she starts it and I give her a look, what she does is she lifts her head up, lays the top of her head along the side of my upper body to look at me like, hi.
Oh yeah, no, the sad puppy dog look.
Oh no, it's the, I'm cute.
Yeah.
You're not gonna tell me to get down. Fuck that. Personal space. Aww.
Yeah, I used to wake up in the middle of the night with a 200-pound Great Dane lying next to me in bed.
Ooh. Okay, so Furball in the chat just said, Snowball discovered how to jump on the bed last night. Oh, dude, you are in for it now.
You didn't let her stay up there, did you?
Yes, that is the question. Did you tell her and put her down and correct her, or did you allow it?
Yeah, once you do once, it's done. Yeah, my Great Dane would put his chin up on the bed, and then he would slowly move forward, and then he'd put one paw up, and then the other paw up, and then he would keep scooting forward, and then he'd put one back leg up, and then the other. And the next thing you know, in the middle of the night, it's like you wake up with a person next to you because he's the size of a person.
So
with his head on the pillow.
Nice. So Furball, the couch and chairs are one thing. The bed is a completely different one.
Oh yeah, it is. I've got 2 Chihuahuas and a Terrier mix that share my bed. And when I say share my bed, I literally mean I'm sleeping on about the same size as a underway rack on a submarine. So yeah.
Hey Jared,
thankfully my dog has it.
Or a video to share.
Well, go to my channel and look at my videos titled Schrodinger's Dogs.
Discord. Hold on, I can send it to put it in the internal chat for Jay.
Well, I was gonna say.
Nice. I've already saved it. It'll be coming over on the main channel in a second.
So I do not see a DM from you, Pig. Where did you send it?
I just posted it in the internal chat.
Yeah, I see it. But I'm about to release part.
Yes, Jay, play it.
Okay.
I'm about to release part 3 of Schrodinger's Dogs.
Nice.
My two twin dachshunds.
Oh, Furball, you mean like the video you shared a few days ago. Did I say Schrodinger or Furball? I was thinking Furball. I might have said the other.
Yeah, no, I have two videos.
Furball.
Okay, I
Yeah,
did say Furball. Okay.
Yeah, I've got two videos called Schrodinger's Dogs on my channel. I'm about to release a third, and my two twin dachshunds are hilarious.
No, this is how you deal with pets in bed, right? You play
Petrus.
Petrus.
See, that's why we don't let the dogs on the bed. But the cat is a different story because
the cats don't give a fucking care. They will go where they want to go, and they kind of look at you like, pet me, because I'm your god, and you know you worship me.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This furry little asshole, this Persian, literally got under the covers and laid between my wife and I last night.
Oh.
Hold on, no, I have woken up in the middle of the night twice with a
That's
dachshund.
what you were talking about when you messaged me about stroking pussy.
Yeah. No, I've woken up twice with a full-size, full-grown dachshund underneath my pillow. So it's my head and then a pillow and then a dachshund. Because they burrow. That's what dachshunds do. So he would burrow
Curious what
himself.
this is. Let's hit play.
Yeah.
You know, let's hit play.
Oh. No. What's going on?
I still have not watched this movie.
I have no intentions of watching this movie.
I don't even know what this movie is. I thought it was Red Dead Redemption for a second.
No, this is when he gets raped by a bear.
Pretty
the bear
much.
rapes him.
Pretty much, but watch the dog's reaction to it.
Okay, so this is commentary for commentary's sake.
Now the question is the dog going to jump up and knock the TV over?
I think he's a bit too fat to do that.
That's a big ass bulldog.
Yeah, fighter.
Oh no, that's the new age English bulldog. They're stout fuckers.
Get him.
But what I'm curious with is at the end of this, does the bulldog go find his corner and start jerking off?
Let's find out.
I don't have thumbs.
But bulldogs are one of the few breeds that are notorious for doing that shit.
All right, hit the play button. Let's find out. You can do dog. Look at him trying to lift his butt up. He's too fat.
No, that's a well-behaved dog not jumping up at the TV.
Oh, of course, it had to be a mama bear.
Look at that lazy fucker. That was the one jerking off right there.
Probably.
Oh god.
Look at this one in the side chat and play. This is my latest Schrodinger's Dogs. It's only 1:07.
Okay. Oh, that reminds me. There's another video that I promised Vesta we would be playing today.
But is Vesta out there? Or
I don't know.
Or was Vesta pulling a me and giving people something to partake of and then laughing as they run away?
Hold on.
Yeah, this one's funny, but it's got to have audio. I'll set it to music.
Look at the puppies.
Oh no, that's not the right one. Fuck. That's still funny, but let me go find the right one.
Yeah, we'll keep watching it though.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
My toy. No, it's my toy. My toy. I want
Give me my precious.
Here it is. Here it is. This one's better.
Oh, Kristen, don't start that. Bear attacks are conspiracies. The government does it in lies.
Oh,
Yep.
shit, damn it.
There you go. This one's great.
Let's get ready to rumble! I've seen you around for a long, long time. Yeah. I really miss you when you drink my wine. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we?
You really have to get to
That's what gets you a copyright claim.
Yeah, but oh well.
11 minutes later.
it's worth the copyright claim.
With you such a long time, my sunshine, and I want you to know my feelings are true. I really love you. Oh, you're my best.
Yeah, it's almost like they're siblings.
They are. They're twins.
Yeah. Wait. Actual twins or litter mates?
They're fraternal twins.
Nice.
Yeah, but they've been together their entire life, and they fight like that, and then they lay on top of each other and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to make that contrast, because they do that, and then they lay on top of each other and go to sleep. And if you want to fight one of them, you're going to have to fight both of them.
Not that I'm going to play any videos from this channel, but if you guys like a little humor with a historical take, come over to Oversimplified.
Yes.
Oh, I've never heard of that channel. What is it?
Oh, so he takes a historical event and explains it in an accurate yet overly simplified kind of way. And his type of humor is phenomenal for it too. Like, especially during the World War II things, it's like when he's talking about Hitler, it's like, this is mine.
Wait, there was an Emu War?
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't know about the Emu Wars?
I have no idea about the Emu War.
I just subscribed to it.
Hold on. Instead of watching an oversimplified video of the Emu War, can I bring an Australian in here to tell us about the Emu War?
Wait. Is he?
He's got 2.5 million subs.
Is he an Aussie or a Kiwi?
An Aussie, straight up Aussie.
Hey, Blitz, in the side chat,
He has one big red eye.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Like Drunk History, but better, Kristen. Bullshit never happened. But there's a video on YouTube about it. It must have happened in that way.
It never fucking happened.
Speaking of history channels and stuff, you know who?
Do you guys watch the History Guy?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that channel in a while.
I've been binging some of his stuff recently.
Yeah.
Where is it? He just posted it. I just like. God damn it. You know, Simon Whistler from Today I Found Out, Biographics, all that fun stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started another channel.
Real? God damn, dude.
Yeah, I tweeted at him when I subscribed to the new one. I'm like, how many
Now, when
channels
this
do
guy
you
joins
have?
in, everyone be offended. Okay.
I can't even keep one going. I mean, shit.
Well, he has a whole crew with him. I mean, it's not just him.
Yeah, he does have the production crew. He is what Adam ruins everything strives to be.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Simon doesn't hide his bias. He acknowledges it and tries not to let it influence the way he presents the information. And that is a skill most historical presenters and most politic presenters have an issue with.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are times where my biases come out. I'm just like, yep, sorry about that. Like my last video.
Yeah, well, I forget what video it was that I commented on, but someone made the comment about, oh, so you're talking about, it was No Bullshit. That's what channel it was. One of No Bullshit's videos about Adam ruins everything. I think it was the preview clip of Adam ruins the Second Amendment, or Adam ruins gun ownership, or something along those lines. And someone in the comment made a comment about how how Simon Whistler is Adam's archenemy, or vice versa.
I remember we had fun with that.
Yeah, we did. Because I immediately mentioned, it's like, yeah, one of them actually just sticks to the facts and as the presentation, whereas the other one, it just falls into their bias while trying to say that they're not in just presenting the facts.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen of No Bullshit just seems like he's just spewing bullshit.
Well, no, he's repeating the bullshit and showing how there are errors, which is why it's bullshit.
Okay. Unless I was thinking of somebody else, but I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure.
Now, I brought someone in here to teach us about the Emu War. What is this Emu War?
Well, the first rule about Emu War is you don't talk about Emu War, but we'll make an exception today. All right. So,
yay!
And happy 4th, everybody. I'd just like to say happy 4th of July. I hope you detonated a few metric tons of explosive devices safely without loss of limbs.
Oh yeah, they drove my fucking dogs crazy last night. My dogs were howling until midnight.
Wait, we're supposed to do it safely? Fuck.
Yes.
We're supposed to do it how to hold firecrackers so my fingers wouldn't explode.
Hey, don't even start. It rained on us. We didn't get to set them off last night because we went to the local VFD to watch them blow stuff up, and it rained on us all day, and it's still raining. So we haven't been able to set off ours. So we get to set off ours tomorrow night when it's not raining.
Oh, nice.
Jared?
Yep.
I don't recall BM.
I'm not setting them off on what ground.
Actually telling us the answer to his our question about if he let her stay or not.
No, the answer he gave alluded that he did let her stay.
Oh, he got comfortable with her. He's screwed now.
Yep.
He's got an AE map up on his wall too. The globe right under it. That's different.
I'm blowing his cover. I had to...
So I got a question. When
That
are we
guitar's
talking about
fake,
the
by the
Emu
way.
War?
It's CGI.
Okay.
Warrant officers don't know how to play a musical instrument.
He doesn't know how to play it. I shit you not. He doesn't know how to play it.
Okay, so back to Pig's question about the Emu War.
All right. Yes.
I want to learn, damn it.
That was the thing. Now, apparently, in the Wayback Machine, there was a problem with emus, and some bright spark went, let's send in the army with a couple of Browning machine guns. And we lost that war. I don't know the details on exactly how we lost the fucking war against a flightless bird that doesn't have firearms.
So you literally went to war against emus and lost.
Yes. I think here's the best bit. I think we had 2 rounds at it and we lost by fucking round.
You need to spin it better. Birds are dinosaurs. So you lost against dinosaurs.
Well,
Well,
why
yes.
did you need Browning machine guns? That's like
Have you seen an emu? Have you seen the size
Oh,
of
they're
them?
Yes,
fucking
my neighbor has.
assholes.
Now,
They are.
yeah, but
Go-
what's wrong with a 308 round? Why do you need a Browning?
there's a lot of emus, so you need a lot of rounds, and Brownings can throw them down range a hell of a lot quicker than a bolt action fucking 308. Let me tell you.
Oh no, dude, use an M240.
This was early 30s.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
well,
talking
okay.
just after World War One. So the M249 and all of these wonderful toys that we play with now, I don't think they were around then. We had Brownings, and that's about it, really. I think.
Yeah,
and MG42s.
Yeah, I guess so.
No,
But
they're
an M249 saw would fuck up some emus.
Here we go.
Oh my God, there's a documentary.
they are employing the koala bear spotters and the kangaroo kickers.
I kid you not. They sent guys out with Browning machine guns, and they just said they were having a hard time hitting the birds. Apparently, I don't. But if you look at an emu's leg, it looks like a raptor's talon. Now go and bring up a picture of an emu's leg and have a look at the talon on the fucking things.
Yeah.
And cassowaries too. We've got cassowaries, which are even more frightening versions of emus. They're big blue versions with like a dinosaur horn coming out of the top of their freaking head.
Hey, Jared, look at Furball's latest comment. Does that really surprise you?
No, not at all. So, in Logical Troglodyte, I leave for a few minutes and the world goes crazy. Browning emu dinosaurs, huh? It's like,
hey, Jared, I found an actual documentary on it.
Oh, I know.
What you have to do?
Let's watch it. Let's watch this because it was 1932. Let's see this shit. Hit play.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
As the end of World War I neared, Australian soldiers returning to their homeland were granted a large swath of land in Western Australia. With the intent of building and farming the land, soldiers flocked to the area in hopes of a simple and prosperous future. Much to their dismay, soldiers encountered a scene more frightening and perilous than any they had experienced in the trenches.
Pulse.
The land.
No, sorry. The Battle of the Somme would have been far more terrifying than staring down a few pissed off emus. No, lady. That's a perfect. That's just.
But what about an army of emus, damn it?
No, I don't give it no. Unless the emus live a lot, I don't know, high on methamphetamine, then we might have.
No, Bastard.
Are you having a heart attack from laughing too hard?
I'm pretty sure World War One. French warfare and World War One.
Until Bo shows up, Pig actually has a chance of winning this bet. Okay.
I'm still
Hey, Red Eye, get this man a heart attack.
More terrifying than World War One trench warfare. Yes, emus are more scary than World War One trench warfare. I'm glad we sorted that out.
Hold on. Let's have a vote. There's 11 people here, right? Alan, trench warfare or emus? Okay, Blitz, trench warfare or emus?
Which is more
God damn it,
frightening?
Blitz, answer. Yeah.
I mean, you lost against the emus, so the emus must have been
Okay,
more
so
frightening.
emus. All right, Eric, trench or emus? Eric's dead. We'll skip him. Jared, trench or emus?
You know, I have to go with the emus since they actually won.
All right. If any of you are voting trench, say aye.
Aye.
If any of you are voting emus, say aye.
Aye.
I'm voting third party. I'm voting my Dachshund twins.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Emus
for-
win.
Wait,
Secondary
wait,
Dachshund
wait.
twins.
What if you come across emus in trenches?
Oh, then you're fucked.
You're screwed
Then
at
you're
that
boned.
point.
Oh no, each emu has
Then you're totally fucked.
each
what if
emu
they-
has a potato smasher grenade in their beak.
But what if they have
Shit.
what if they have pet dachshunds?
I yield to the group.
So are these
Apparently-
German emus then?
9.
They've got all of them have Hitler stashes.
I mean,
Oh,
you know,
could you imagine Nazi emus? Someone draw that up.
All right.
The helmet
How
up
long
with the
before
spike
YouTube takes
coming
this
out the
down?
top and everything. This is great. I'm just picturing Nazi emus just blitzkrieging fucking across Europe in my head right now.
We already got
It's
Nazi
glorious.
raptors. What?
apparently they freaking
All right, hold
blitzkrieged
on.
across Western Australia.
Hold on.
And they
I
also
have to
have
stop
really
everyone.
floppy ears.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Hold on, I have to stop everyone right now.
Hang on, I gotta
told
go
you
get a
all,
nitro. I gotta go get
he's gonna
a
have
nitro.
another heart attack.
No, it's
Gotta get
not a heart attack.
nitroglycerin.
It's not a heart attack until the hospital confirms it is, and it requires an elevated enzyme in my blood. So fuck you, pig.
All right, so I got a question
and...
for everyone. Now, before he joined, I said something. Remember that. Everyone be offended. All right, let's hit play. Jay, you're supposed to hit play.
No, I don't want to hit play yet.
Why not?
Because
That's
I
fucking
got
emus, man.
It's fucking
No,
emus, man.
No, we got turkeys.
Are you fucking offended?
No, I'm not offended. You're offended.
Okay.
Instead
you're
of a
offended.
peaceful prairie where they could begin a new life, was inhabited by an enemy more cunning than they had ever encountered. The Aboriginal Lagoon Emu, known for their
That can't be real.
Oh my god!
Oh, it is real.
That's real.
Okay. It might be a documentary, but they're playing it up.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They would never play up a documentary. What are you talking about?
Look at those crazy eyes.
If I see those crazy eyes coming at me, I'm fucked.
Wait.
What am I?
I just have to do this for a comparison. So everyone in the audience, you can see this emu. Now look at this. See the resemblance?
What am I supposed to be looking at?
Yeah.
Look at Lord Burns' avatar now.
Hi.
I don't know.
I gotta find Lord Burns before I can pull up this.
Here,
It's a raptor.
I'll pin myself up.
Well,
It only pins you to yourself. That's all it does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
that emu
Oh,
looks like
dude.
the Morgal on a Saturday night.
Oh,
What do you mean
So-
on a Saturday night?
That's
I was
every
gonna say
night.
every day of the
on
week.
any night.
Can someone turn one of those eyes red?
J. Cole, that thing could eat your soul.
You know what though? It's still prettier than Reds.
If one
Yeah,
of those
sure.
eyes were black, it would look like the Morgal's wife on a Saturday night.
Oh, damn!
Why do you gotta
Wow.
why do you gotta insult emus like that, man? What did they ever do to you?
Really?
To be fair,
Well,
it could
apparently they
also-
fucked up an
one
army.
of the eyes might look like a special child of a particular flat earther.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Furball has it right. For it to be an image of the Morgile, it's missing the bars and security guards.
Oh.
There we go. Now we're better.
It also has a
Nice
lot
hat.
more hair.
And it's
Right,
not
let's
begging
check
for money. If
Yeah,
it were
now-
begging for money, it would be the Morgal.
You know,
even
I
better
mean-
though. I went to high school with a guy who farmed emus.
Who here wants to make the bet that the Morgile ends up being the next Russian?
We already
base?
have a bet on, and you're fucking messing up my chances. So shut the fuck up and have a heart attack.
You know,
I like
Greg,
Grisbait's comment, Jared.
Sean Hawkins on a crap load
Oh,
of
I love you.
caffeine.
I need to
now.
ask Pig a question. Piggy, if you wrote me into some scheme of yours that you're trying to give someone a heart attack, and I'm like
Yes.
a weapons platform,
Yes,
basically.
yes.
am I?
Okay,
Yes.
let me give
Pretty much.
let me give you backstory, okay? let me give you a little bit of backstory to this. A week ago last Tuesday, I had a heart attack.
Oh fuck!
Okay, damn
Oh.
near killed me. Okay,
That's not fun.
Tuesday, I get back to Missouri and have another.
That's really not fun.
Okay, so right now, because see, somebody in this group I'm not mentioning names, Jared, Jay, and Piggy, along with Bo Hobo, placed bets upon how many heart attacks I would have before this night occurred.
I don't remember being a part of any conversation like that. Pig, do you have evidence of this?
I have evidence of it. It was emailed to me earlier today by a sniper in the stream.
Oh wow!
I went through the
I am
UDS.
humbled to be amongst a group of such dark, twisted people.
Yeah, we are. We're a sick fucking group. So yeah.
Okay, and now as a third party, I just want to ask. So you mean to tell me you had 2 heart attacks and you failed both times?
Yes.
Well, he is a surface squid. I mean, come on now.
No, well, I mean, here's the thing, though, Schrodinger, is that when I had my first heart attack, they had to shock me back twice.
Wait, so technically that's 2 heart attacks. I hit 3, I win.
No, because it occurred in the
He died
same
twice,
episode.
and then he had a 3rd heart attack. I count it.
No,
I count it.
No, you can't count it because of 2 times they had to shock me back was because when I had my heart attack, I went into AFib. So no, it does not count as 2 events. It counts as 1.
That sounds like a technicality.
It is a technicality, but it is still classified as one event.
It is one event.
It is one event.
Damn it! Okay, someone punch him in the chest.
Well, that's how you keep him alive. Is punch him in the chest.
Oh no, not if you time it right.
Yeah, if you time it right.
All right, I'm gonna hit play again.
Satirical wit. The settlement of more than 20,000 emu were a force unlike any the army had seen before.
What the hell?
Look at that garrison there.
Okay, an army of 20,000 emus would be pretty terrifying.
Emu cavalry.
This
I know, right?
Australia.
This
is Sparta.
Are emus big enough to ride?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's no wonder we beat the Brits. They can't beat birds.
Hold on. You ever play Final Fantasy, the Chobobos, or whatever the fuck? The
Chocobos.
Chocobos, yes.
Those freaking emus are rolling
This is
off
the real life Chocobo.
like T-34s. God damn it! Look at that shit. That's like Russian grade fucking production facility. Look at how many emus are rolling off the production line. They're ready to go straight into battle at that point. Those guys at the front there, they're battle ready. They're battle hardened, actually. Look at the
How tasty are emus?
I don't
pretty
think
tasty, actually.
Well, I don't know because we don't go around hunting them a whole lot. We prefer to go.
Yeah, because they fight
chew on
back.
cows.
Because they'll kick your ass.
Well, we've got modern warfare. We got modern weaponry now. We could just send out a drone and hellfire the bastards. We don't even need.
All you have to do. Don't think you have to do is.
That's how you fuck. Hold on.
We learned to cull them safely from a C-130 orbiting at about 5,000 feet.
When you introduce, this is basic evolution. When you introduce a predator within a environment, let's say you have single-cell algae, that algae will then develop into a multicellular organism.
Australia ruined that whole thing, dude. It's
Hold on. Now, if you start using drones to kill the emus, then they develop flight.
No.
Think about it.
No, here's how you beat the emus. You give Scotty Storm a couple of hits and airdrop him right into the middle of them.
Oh shit!
No, I got a wonderful idea. Talking about our current modern warfare, we could solve the whole war on terror and everything. Just gather up all the emu and drop them in Afghanistan and Iran. Problem solved.
Or drop Scotty Storm.
What about Saudi Arabia and Syria?
Well, one is technically an ally.
You send a breeding pair of emus to the Middle East, it's all over in 20 years. It's all over.
I'll send over 6 breeding pairs just to make sure a good gene pool.
There is no Middle East. It's called New Australia.
No. Imagine now. you get a really horny farmer. There's a nice Arab reading.
We're gonna quit talking.
Determined to bring
about
peace
pigs.
and wheat to the continent, the Australian Parliament resolved to engage the emu with a force that could not be deterred. 4 guys and a Lewis machine gun.
It was a Lewis. It was a Lewis.
That's not even a Browning.
It wasn't even a Browning. I apologize. That's where we went wrong. We took a fucking Lewis out there
Lewis,
instead of a Browning.
It was-
That's where your fuck up was.
They just brought a fucking BB gun.
So Grisbait from the chat, where's the flamethrower when you need it?
Oh no! Logical troglodyte. I'll heck with it. I can't concentrate on research after this. I may as well say and see where this goes.
Here's what happened in the Parliament of Australia. So the Prime Minister calls in the most highly decorated people from World War One. He says, "Right, fellas, I've got a serious bloody job for you blokes. Being overrun by bloody emus. They're like bloody. You should see them. They're breeding like bloody rabbits over there. We're going to send you over with one of these machine guns and 2 boxes of ammo. You're going to clean house, right, fellas? Right, go for it."
Oh, don't forget they have their sidearms and knives too.
No, didn't need them.
Even if you're talking military grade weapons and experienced soldiers, against 20,000 emus, I would send more than 4.
No, didn't need to.
No, these are Aussies. They're crazy bastards.
There are American soldiers in that photo as well.
Yeah, and they're probably back in the corner smoking cigarettes and fucking laughing at the 4 dumbasses around that machine.
Let's move forward and see where this goes.
Sir George Pearce, noted Parliament member, paved the way for the political and economic backing of what has become known as the Great Emu War. A public fueled by outrage and the desire for rich and fiber breads fully supported Pearce with cries of, "Yeah, those emu over there," and "Hey, where's my sandwich?"
This can't be real. This can't be real.
Goodness, that's funny.
Yeah, where's my sandwich?
Oh god,
that can't be real.
No, it's just, honestly.
Come on, there's a sandwich there.
They're taking the piss out of this, but I think this is all factually accurate. Because someone would have said, "Oh, those emus over there," and someone would have said, "Yeah, I want a bloody sanger." That would have happened. That literally would have fucking happened. So legit, it's.
Here's a joke. I was on Jose's, y'all know Jose. I was on his show the other day, and I made a joke that imagine Scotty Storm ordering Chinese food over the phone.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Isn't Scotty Australian?
Is he? If he's Australian or New Zealand, I don't know. But
He's an Aussie.
He'd be like, "Yo,
can you deliver a bunch of methamphetamine to someone for me?"
Well, no, because he talks about
Probably not.
I want some fried rice and I want some lumpia. Y'all have lumpia, right? And then some lo mein, but not pork lo mein, chicken lo mein. And then it would be so incoherent. It would be hilarious, and then you'd be like,
What?
No.
We get you duck. We get you duck.
Yeah.
Or
All right, hit play button.
Or you get the Chinese restaurant worker from Dude, Where's My Car? And
Oh, yeah.
And then
And then
you want fudge and cookie?
Oh no,
All right, hit play.
hit play.
we need to get the Chinese restaurant staff from the end of A Christmas Story.
Knowing that pastrami just can't be eaten on white bread, Pierce hardened his resolve and appointed the highly decorated commander, Major G.P.W. Meredith, to lead an assault on the hotly contested Campion region. Leading the campaign, Meredith and his specially trained force of 4 took the machine gun in an effort to win the day. On November 2nd, 1932, the battle for Campion began and raged on almost an hour with over 10,000 rounds fired toward the enemy. As casualty estimates were tallied, the small battalion was credited with nearly 9 emu eradicated and possibly 3 to 5 injured.
10,000 rounds
for 9 birds.
For 9 birds.
9 kills and 4 to 5 injured.
What were you shooting from distance? 1,000 feet or more?
Well, a Lewis machine gun wasn't even rated to fire 10,000 rounds in its lifetime.
So
what's the effective range of a Lewis?
Not fucking
Probably-
far, apparently.
And the answer
100
furball.
meters,
Hold
I
on. The
guess?
answer furball. When movie night got canceled because Cy decided to take a trip.
Yeah, well,
Actually, he's been
plus-
planning this trip for a while, and I'm not sure if I'm a part of it. So let's find out.
Well, plus, we do have to pause it every now and then to get appropriate commentary for fair use.
Yes.
Actually, this is history. It doesn't have to apply to fair use.
This is educational.
It is educational. It is a history environment, but we still do have to provide commentary just to be safe.
Rate of fire for a Lewis is 550 rounds per minute.
So, logical
Yeah,
troglodyte.
but what's its lifetime?
That I don't know. The effective range is 2,600 feet.
So, logical troglodyte. It's all fun and games until the Lewis jams.
Yeah.
Imagine being in the heat of battle, staring down 10,000 of these bastards looking at you like that with their mouth open, going, can't try and shoot me. You can't fucking hit shit, mate, with that Lewis. Look at you. They're all just sitting there looking at this guy. That other bird on the right's going, are these fucking arseholes stormtroopers or something? We sent stormtroopers in to fight this fucking war. Apparently, we fucking did.
Stormtroopers versus red shirts.
You would do better with a 22 caliber rifle.
Stormtroopers versus red shirts. No one lands a hit, but everyone dies.
Or the A team, where you shoot 10,000 rounds and nobody gets hit.
Car blows up.
So that enemy on the left, it's sitting there going, mate, you couldn't hit shit on a stick with that thing. And the enemy on the right's looking concerned. It's like, is this human being all right? It literally can't hit any of us. There's 10,000 of us standing right in front of it. That gun's got an effective range of 2,600 feet. And it's only killed 9 of us after 10,000 rounds. It's like, that bird looks genuinely concerned for us at this point. You can't even defend yourself with a fucking machine gun.
Look at the two in the background. The two in the background don't even care. They're on about something else.
Yeah, they're talking about what's for dinner.
These humans weren't as bright as I thought they were.
Where's my crack pipe?
We're going to feast on the fallen civilization of the humans. That's what they're talking about.
Oh, let's finish this off. Let's see where this goes.
Initially declared a stalemate, reports of the emu's ability to withstand the barrage of artillery prompted one member of parliament to say,
I love that image.
Oh, fucking beautiful.
Oh my god.
They took that off of fallen soldiers.
Does a machine gun count as artillery?
Yeah, no. They said artillery.
Yeah, it does in this documentary.
It does.
Only heavy grade.
Apparently, it does in Australia. Period.
That looks like Patton if he was a bird.
This is how we classify things in Australia. If it goes boom, it's a gun. If it goes fucking boom, that's obviously an artillery piece, and the machine gun must have been loud enough to be classified as a fucking boom. So
no. The reason why they only got 9 kills is they were using the gun as artillery, so they were shooting up in the air.
Lobbing it up in the air like a
They were lobbied. Yeah.
At a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. After the battle at Campion, a shift in the emu tactics prompted a new battle strategy. Under the cover of darkness, employing the first example of guerrilla warfare on the continent, the emu moved out of range of the machine gun.
They moved out of range. We didn't see that fucking goddamn tactic coming. They moved, sir, they moved out of range. Shit. We're all over.
What do we do now? What do we do?
Fuck, man. I don't know.
Jared, read Logical Troglodyte's latest one.
He looks like the bird father. I've got a deal you can't refuse.
Who has the link to this?
I'll share it.
Yeah, no, email it to me, please. You have my email.
Oh,
Yeah, I should.
So here's the thing. For everyone enjoying this version of the documentary, you have to watch Oversimplified's version of it.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. The link to Oversimplified is in our internal chat, Jared. If you want to put it out into the chat.
Ooh, yes, please. Put it
With
in the
this
chat.
bold maneuver, Meredith could not flank the enemy, so he boldly commanded the truck driver and ensuing forces to drive forward toward enemy lines. With such a directive, the Emu had no choice but to retreat, fleeing the battle at a speed of 50 miles per hour. With his enemy reeling, Meredith ordered the truck driver to give chase. The Australian troops drove the truck at its top speed of almost 24 miles per hour.
That truck driver was never seen again.
Oh my!
Because in Australia we math really good. We're really good at maths and work out that if we give chase at a top speed of 24, while the enemy is pulling away at 50, that we could surely catch them in less than 20 minutes.
Are we sure 3 of those soldiers were not descendant or ancestors of James May, Richard Hammond, and Jeremy Clarkston? Because this sounds like something they would do.
Yes, this is Top Gear basically.
Let's keep going here.
Rough terrain toward their adversary. As they neared the Emu, the troops took aim, and took aim again, and continued to take aim. After nearly 3 attempts to surround the Emu with a truck, it was clear that the intellect of the Emu and their top speed made them an enemy that no army could take lightly.
They had Anthony Riley doing those triangulation.
So, you know what I like best? That the Australian Army's tried to surround the emus with
red eye. What's with you Aussies? Emus, rabbits, sheep? What the hell?
Sheep's more of a Kiwi thing, but that's cool. Whatever. Hey, you do you, New Zealand. You do you. We just like to, if it moves, we like to try and shoot it, then eat it. It's not fun trying to eat them while they're moving. So we found it shooting things first, then eating them. Cooking them is preferable as well.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, when you're talking about, Alan Rickman playing an Aussie opposite American, very American, John Selleck in Quigley Down Under. Yeah. The movie was Quigley Down Under.
Oh yeah.
And it was, you Aussies are dumb as shit if you think an American doesn't know how to use a pistol in the 1800s. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but there's just some of us that don't prefer a pistol. We prefer a long-range rifle. 50 caliber Sharps works. But I think his was. What was his in the movie? Was it the 50 cal?
Yeah, it was a Sharps.
Yeah, but was it the 50 cal or was it the 45?
It was a 45-70, 45 caliber. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I have a
British musket #2 fit that round, so I had to be the 45 caliber.
Yeah, I have a 45-70, but it's a modern version. That's a big fucking round.
Yeah. Have you got the lever gun for it? Because that some bitch hurts.
Yeah. Oh no, it's lever action, and yeah, I shot it just enough rounds to zero the scope, and holy fuck, it'll leave a bruise on your shoulder.
Oh yes, it will.
I've actually got a hypothesis right now. I'm just going to run this by you. I think that America saw what happened here and designed the A-10 Warthog to counter any emu insurgents. Right? Just hear me out here, right? Someone said,
napalm.
Listen, check it.
That's what napalm comes from.
No, just hear me out here. They fucking saw emus and they went, right, we need something that can throw a hell of a lot of lead down range real quick, but it's really going to help. That truck shit didn't quite work out for the Aussies. Let's step this shit. Yeah, they said, let's step this shit up. So they built this gun, and then some dude just said, let's make this fucking thing fly. And everyone went, no way, mate. He went, yeah, let's make it fly. They can't fly. We'll make the gun fly. We have then got like aerial superiority. Once you get air superiority in a battle zone, you pretty well got the battle sealed up pretty tight.
Yeah.
So I salute you, America, and the creation of the A-10 Warthog It's just a shame it wasn't invented in 1932 when we really fucking needed the thing. Some cluster bombing. And
Well, we did our best.
That imagine being in the battle and then you're just overhead. You're just about to be overrun by emus in here. And you just see the emus go. Oh.
We did our best with the rotary gun.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. It's just we could have really used A10s back in 32. That's all I'm trying to say.
Maybe an AC 130 Spectre, one of those.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yes. Oh, give me a Spectre.
I mean, the only thing we needed.
They got a howitzer hanging out of a 30 mil grenade. It's a 40 mil grenade launcher and a 30 mil machine gun. Two of those just orbiting 180 around, just 180 from each other, orbiting the battlefield, just turning it into a big, delicious.
Is that with or without the Sabo rounds?
The only thing we needed was if you had just sent us an email, like we could have.
God damn it! Should have emailed you guys.
All right, let's move on.
Like a tweet.
In
something?
the waning couple of minutes of the Great Emu War, Australian troops relished in the moral victory they had experienced. The Australian people, whether Indigenous or former convicts, owe a debt of gratitude to the fearless troops that risked their lives in the name of a high-fiber diet. With a total of at least several emu killed or captured and another dozen or so injured, the Great Emu War, along with lower import tariff laws, paved the way for enriched breads of many varieties. The arduous day or two that led to the demise of some emu is a chapter that will be remembered in the annals of history.
Oh my!
Oh my God! I'm sorry, Red Eye, but Aussies just fucking suck at every goddamn thing, don't they?
We suck at war, that's for sure. We really don't. We don't do too well at tactics. Like we can outmaneuver these fucking emus with a single truck that does half the speed of an emu.
Well, to be fair, we do have to thank Australia for one thing: Nicole Kidman.
Oh
yeah,
and
yeah.
We did relay the TV signals from the moon landing, so we did in fact come and use.
Okay, we'll give them two.
Yeah,
we'll give you that. We'll give you that.
Yeah, give them credit for two.
We'll have to just sit down and do a battle tactics analysis of this entire.
Oh, yep. They get negative points though for Vegemite.
Let me clarify this. My wife is saying thank them for three things because they did give us Keith Urban and country music. So.
Did they
Yeah,
really
but
though?
they also gave us Kent Hovind.
Yeah.
Oh,
We deduct points for Kent Hovind.
And New Zealand gave you that.
Whichever one it was.
Who's the dickhead from New Zealand that talked about the banana? Ray Comfort. He's a Kiwi, so blame New Zealand for that, not us.
Kiwi.
Yep, not our fault. And we won't. We refuse to take Ken back. By the way, you can keep him. That arc, all of it, yours now. Have fun.
Okay, so a name was put into the chat. Jay, we're gonna have to look this one up. Lisa McCune.
Oh, that sounds familiar. In the meantime, Blitz, I don't think you and I have met before. Where did you serve?
I served on USS Iwo Jima.
On the Iwo?
Yep.
Yeah. What years?
What years was I there? 07 to 12, I think. Something like that.
Oh, okay. I was on the Kearsarge from 06 to 08.
Okay.
Here you go, Jared.
Yeah, I was at the CEU division officer and then
Not bad.
the auxiliaries officer.
Yeah.
Well, you were. What did you do?
I started as a deck seaman, but struck OS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I started out as an AT and ended up as a reluctant SWO.
Okay, so I thought Kylie Minogue was a Kiwi.
Nah, she's Aussie.
All right. So that there's another.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Kylie.
Lord
is a Kiwi.
Yeah, well, it's definitely Kiwi. But Kylie's definitely Aussie. Kylie Minogue and those hot pants from a certain film clip. My God.
Oh, yes.
Hold on. I got something to scare you guys.
Is this the Mickey Mouse pick? That shit burns into the brain in less than a second.
Oh, Vegemite's actually delicious, but you got to be raised on it. If like, I think it's more of a child torture device to make parents feel better about having babies. It's like babies ruin their lives, so they ruin the baby's taste buds with Vegemite. It's like a vengeance thing. But once you're 5, you think it's normal to eat that sort of disgusting stuff, and you actually think you like it, but in actual fact, no one does like Vegemite. Let's be quite honest. How could anyone like that disgusting tar like shit?
What even is Vegemite?
It's a yeast
garbage.
extract.
Okay.
And they basically
it's pretty much the leftover.
It's similar to Marmite.
It's the leftover shit they scrape off of the dough as the bread rises,
Okay.
and then they ferment it in.
Yeah, it's yeah, but I love it.
That's what
you all have bleach, right? For your eyes.
Okay, so all right, what do you got?
Vegemite is what the emu used as a weapon.
What the?
Whoa! What the? Okay. Yeah. Demonetized.
Now look, I thought
that's from her newest music video for her song called "Mother's Daughter."
Wait, was that Ariana Grande
No.
or Miley?
That's Miley.
Oh, what the
my
fuck,
God.
you dumb bitch!
Well, that doesn't
Look at who her father is. Do you really expect the fruit to fall far from that tree?
Are we sure the fruit didn't loop back on that tree a few dozen times?
I'm not going to comment.
Confirm or deny that. Plausible deniability, isn't it a wonderful thing? Said the Cyrus family.
Yeah.
Marmite is a real deal. No, actually, Marmite's not bad.
If memory serves, he was kind of like pushing that along to get some cash, like when she was younger, with the whole Hannah Montana nonsense.
You think?
No.
Oh, no. And no, she doesn't have daddy issues. Have you seen the MTV Music Awards performance with Robin Thicke?
No, I mean I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not really into that scene, but I just remember because I had children at the time and just watching them and like, hold on, wasn't that the dude that sang that fucking song back in the day?
Yeah.
Now,
so
recently, about Vegemite, they did a thing called Blend 17. They opened up a new production facility and they released a limited time thing, and it was like I don't know, premium Vegemite. It was soft. It was actually better than the normal Vegemite. Here's the problem: I scored about 4 jars of it. I sent a few over to I sent one over to Landon Noel because he loves Vegemite too. So he's got good taste in tucker, old Landon. But they stopped producing it, so I've eaten my last jar of it, and then I've gone to buy more, and there's no more there.
Oh, okay. So, hang on. Let me get this so everyone can see it. So, the name of the channel is Hot Dad Productions. They have an Emu War trailer. Okay, what are the chances that the video production quality in that 1 and 38 second long video outpaces JM Truth's entire video catalog by 100-fold?
Jared, I just spent
100%.
I spent 2 hours watching the misspellings of JM Truth on Writer of Dinosaurs channel.
Fucking hilarious.
I was laughing
isn't
so
it?
hard. I had to replay parts because I shared screenshots with you of some of them, Jared. Like, he couldn't even spell his own name right.
Oh, he's misspelled his name. He has misspelled his production company. He has misspelled photographer, debris. He has misspelled so much random shit. And here's cinematography. What the guy fucking studied for his bachelor's. Misspelled it. in the credits of a produced video he did for someone.
Hold on.
Well,
Hold
don't
on
talk
just
too
a
bad
second.
about him because let's remember he is a sniper.
In what wet dream of his?
All of them. In his own mind, at least.
Jared, did you see the screenshot that I sent you for the university he got his master's from?
I do not recall.
I do know it was mail order, correct?
It was
Oh.
it was that green something that one where they had the a day without whites or something like that.
I'm okay with my information being out there just for this because look, the alumni that is discrediting your school with errors in spelling and grammar is what I put. When they asked, how did you hear about us? I haven't gotten a call back yet, but it is a holiday weekend, so, you know, I'm chalking it up to that. And I did click send on it, by the way.
Yeah. Do not do what Aaron Ron did in his video.
Yeah, I'll give everyone a quick tip. There's a video of Aaron Ra out there. He visits Australia and he butters his toast up and then he lightly spreads a little bit of Vegemite and then he makes a mistake if he dips his finger or something and he tastes it and he goes, oh, that's not too bad. And then he gets his knife and goes and then spreads a real thick layer on and then bites into it. Oh. You want to see a big man and the look of regret on a big man's face, you need to watch Aaron Ra bite into this Vegemite laden piece of toast after he's thinking he's got this, and then as soon as he goes and it gets onto his taste buds, just like his brain instantly went, "You do not have this at all. In fact, I've just made a very, very, very big mistake, and I will now show you what regret truly means."
No! I think what would be funnier is do a freeze frame right after he bites into it, and then have the fucking Morgan Freeman voice. And it was at this moment right here when he realized he done fucked up.
And then send a clip of it to Kent Hovind.
Yeah. Well, I can get it out of the jar and get a teaspoon and just go bloom straight in my mouth and I'll eat it. It will be salty as hell, but I will not gag. I'll swallow it. If anyone else that's never tried to do that, it would nearly
something salty
put them in hospital.
Yeah, I did the same with Marmite, but
It's so salty, it's not funny.
Vegemite, because the taste.
I'll put
is
something salty in your mouth, Red.
Yeah,
Okay, with that, I'm going to tell you guys good night because I just took all my pills. And I will see y'all.
You didn't share for fun times?
No, because this crap plays with my blood pressure right after I take it. So, yeah.
Try not to die on us.
No,
or
die.
do because of our bets.
I won't. I'm going to keep it at 2 because I like Bo and I think Bo needs the money. Besides that, I know I can get half of the money out of Bo. I don't trust the rest of you bastards.
Outstanding.
You wished. I'm surprised you haven't got a bet in the thing yourself anyway.
Well, see, these fuckers didn't tell me about it. I had to find out today from Pig.
We can't let them cheat. Come on.
Yeah,
Well,
just make your children the beneficiary, and then you can with money.
Never. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they're all laying out $50 a piece on my life.
I put 100 down. I mean, what are you talking about?
I think I might be able to shed a bit of light on that. There's a very interesting article in the Australian ABC, and there's
That's just on alcohol.
Yeah, that was just the alcohol figure.
No, here's the thing: your money turns into $1,250. So what you do is you get off the boat with your grand and you go into somewhere. Actually, it'll turn into $1,300 because it's 70 cents in the dollar right now. So for every $1,000 you walk into Australia with, you get $1,300 Australian in your pocket. So 1,000 US gets you 1,300 Aussie dollars straight up. But
yeah, I remember a story, and I don't know if it's of exhaustion. I don't know if
no,
it was.
no. So it wasn't the brothels. We cleaned out the majority of the pubs and breweries, and we're beginning our attack on the actual vineyards. That was the Kitty Hawk back in 2006. I was there and a part of it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. So
Well, no,
Oh.
it could be both, because I did hear one about the brothels that the hookers were just exhausted because they had, it just was like 6, 7, 8 a day.
Yeah, when
Don't
we
know if
hear
it's true. I just know what I heard.
That's could be about a fast attack. There were only 130 of us. So.
Well, there's 6,000 on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, when the aircraft carrier is pulling into one of our ports, I think local businesses basically they prepare, because we know that there's going to be this massive influx of people coming in off this city-sized ship, and they're amazing boats to look at too. We don't see them every day down here. You guys might be just used to looking at them, but when we see a nuke-powered aircraft carrier, we all just sit there and go, "Holy fucking floating city!" And then you say,
I'm from Virginia Beach. I've seen 5 of them docked together before.
Well, here's an actual true story that I know from firsthand. Is we were going to pull into Greece, and well, if we're inside 3 nautical miles from shore, we can't dump our CHT tanks, which is basically our black water. So they have a CHT barge. Well, the city we were pulling into in Greece said we don't have a CHT barge available. So the skipper said, "Okay, well, we'll turn around and go back out to sea." All of a sudden,
A
guess
barge
what?
shows up.
A barge shows up. So yeah, the mayor of that city saw all those dollar signs going away, and he was like, "Oh no, guess what? I just found one."
Yep.
Those sailors who have been out to sea for 8 weeks have a couple of paychecks saved up.
Yep.
And we know how to spend it quickly.
I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure the American aircraft carrier is the largest military ship in the world.
It is, especially the Ford class. Now that we have the Ford out there, your Nimitz class fully loaded is about 100,000 tons.
Yeah,
and just shy of 6,000 personnel.
Yeah,
with the air wing.
Damn.
Yeah. When you include the air wing, and I think the Ford is just a little
less, but a little heavier.
Yeah, a little over 100,000 tons.
Oh shit!
Far out. So the Chinese carriers that have just been refurbished and put into service, they don't hold a candle up against your carriers, do they? Holy shit! Look at that!
Good old no fuck.
Yeah. Am I seeing no fuck again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you look way up to the far right corner, or the top end of the right corner, you could probably see my house. That's how close I am to there.
I'm guessing that waterway is one of the most secure waterways on the fucking planet, with all that hardware sitting there. Look at the fucking hardware! Holy fucking shit!
Well, actually, here's the thing, Red Eye, is that if you look at the bottom left, the second ship going to the right, that's actually where the Eisenhower Park's at. That's Pier 12.
Wow.
Yeah, my second deployment, when I deployed in '98 on the Ike.
So we have a question from William Signs in the chat. Those are just refitted Kievs, aren't they? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the Chinese ones are suspect on their performance, because it is an old Russian design that even the Russians couldn't get to work reliably.
Yeah, I could be, from where I stand, I could be at those piers in 15 minutes.
You call that a lot of firepower?
Oh yeah. Well, once you get the air wing aboard, and aircraft carriers almost useless without the air wing, but once it's got the air wing aboard, it's a deadly force, especially with its battle group, which typically consists of a cruiser, a destroyer, well, not so much a frigate anymore because we don't have frigates anymore. And then there's
Who
going
wants
to
a
be
war
a
that's going to last more
submarine.
than 40 minutes? I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
saying. I'm just saying. This is an Ohio-class submarine in dry dock because the potential of carrying 24 missiles with multiple reentry vehicles. Like I said, who needs a war to last more than
5
40
plus
minutes?
MIRVs per warhead.
Yeah,
per
and
missile.
that's what I was just about to throw in there. Is in a carrier strike group, you're going to have a submarine lurking in the proximity.
Fast attack, not a
Usually
boomer.
two. There's usually two fast attacks with the carrier strike group.
Right.
Does it just me or does that look a little CGI right there?
Oh, just
Well,
slightly.
that's probably that 3D stuff, actually.
Yeah, a boomer is probably, I would say, well, I don't even know. Would it be? It's more deadly than a carrier, but in a different way.
Yes.
So it's almost like apples and oranges.
It is.
Because a carrier strike group can rain bombs on you
King's
like
Bay.
Noah's Ark, but a boomer drops one bomb on you that fucks up your world.
And then you
Here's
get
the East Coast.
LHDs.
Oh yeah, no, I've been in an ARG-MU, and ARG-MU can fuck up your day. It just takes a little bit longer.
A little bit, but
So,
they will
I'm really
fuck you
glad that
up.
I chose not to go here.
So go south a little bit, and
Let's
you'll
go to
find
Jacksonville.
it. So right there. Nope. South. A little bit south.
Yeah.
Right there.
Is it true that a US carrier group would rank in the top 10 navies in the world on its own?
Yes.
And the air wing would rate in the top 5 air forces.
Yeah. Compared, if you looked at every nation, pretty damn close.
Yeah, I don't know if I would make that leap to say that specific number, but it's a devastating force. Which is why I don't understand the Iranians provoking us when we go through the Straits of Hormuz, because a single destroyer going through there, if they provoke that destroyer, will fuck them up. At
the
least
British. You seen what the British have done in the last 24 hours? The British have at the just off the Gibraltar. The British have boarded. It was a Panamanian flag tanker, but the Panamanians actually got rid of the deregistered the ship. It's basically it's a oil tanker full of Iranian oil that was going to Syria, but instead of going through the little channel, it went around the Horn of Africa, and it was turning on and off its little satellite thing.
Ooh.
So the British have grabbed it, and you know what the Iranians have just said this morning? Tit for tat. You're going to start grabbing our shit. We're grabbing a British ship. That's the latest thing out of the Iranians.
That's a terrible idea.
They are going to grab a British flagged
the Bowfin Museum.
tanker. So it's on. Basically, it's just kicked off.
Do you have any idea how many ships are registered to Panama that don't actually belong to Panama?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing I've been saying for years is eventually something's going to happen in the Straits of Hormuz, and some captain is going to be going through there because a captain has an absolute right to defend his ship. So they make these runs at these ships. Yeah. One of these captains eventually is going to fire on them.
Yeah.
And it's going to be bad, and it's not going to be so much bad for us because we pretty much always have a carrier in the Gulf.
So
with Hornets loaded for bear, and they can be on top of that scene in minutes.
So, interestingly enough, as Jay was going around Joint Base
Fort
Pearl
Island.
Harbor and Fort Island there are still
I know.
bullet
I'm trying to find-
and bomb marks on Fort Island from,
Did I see it?
from 1941.
I think I saw was that a Starfighter and a MiG-21 when you were
At the
Possibly.
at the aviation museum on Fort Island, yes.
Ah, okay. Because
Yeah.
I like World War II stuff. When both of my grandfathers fought in New Guinea. One of them fought in Madang. So yeah, I've never served. So I'm just a military fan of the technology. Like I loved all the German designs, like the Messerschmitts, Stukas, and all that. Always fascinated me. Their tanks were very over-engineered, which kind of brought them undone. And the Russians went the opposite way with the T-34s and just pumped them out of the factory and ran them on the battlefield like insects and overran everything. Kind of crazy World War II. But I'm fascinated by all the different technologies, and I think my favourite plane would have to be the A-10 because that thing is just it's a flying gun. They went, we've built this magnificent gun, we should just make it fucking fly, and everyone went, and they just kicked the project off.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people really protested the decommissioning of the A-10 Warthog.
Because we don't have anything to adequately replace it. Close combat support is a necessary flight profile that has to be maintained.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree. Now the AC-130 gunship is a devastating fucking asset, but you can't get it on scene. Yeah, you can't get it on scene as fast as you can the Warthog, because that thing just comes over you and it's like it just makes that sound. It's just this rumbling sound, and all of a sudden you're fucking dead.
And I've seen footage from Afghanistan where you've got Marines pinned down in a valley. You've got insurgents firing from a very, very high position. So they have got a very clear tactical advantage straight up. And all of a sudden you hear this, you don't hear the guns, but you just hear the plane coming in. And then you see the top of the mountain fucking disappear. Right? And I'm talking not a small chunk of the mountain went, the whole top of the fucking mountain disappeared. I don't know what ordnance they use, but I'm thinking it's the biggest bomb you could strap underneath a fucking A-10.
No. They use a rotary gun.
What? No. For clearing the top of a mountain.
This is a bomb. They dropped it.
Oh, you're talking about the Hellfire missiles they fire.
No, this was a bomb. This is definitely a bomb that was laser guided. I don't know, but there was no missile strike. You just watched. There was no sound of the missile coming in. You just hear an A-10 overhead. You don't even see it. And then the top of the mountain just goes. It's like,
I'm trying to think what kind of bomb
the largest
they would carry.
The largest payload like that the A-10 would possibly have on it is a JDAM.
JDAM, yeah, that's actually what I was. JDAM was what I was trying to think of, and also the for rotary wing, the Cobra is also a badass asset to have in your arsenal, which is what Blitz was saying earlier about in ARGMU. We carry the Cobras, and those will fuck you up too.
Well, some of the gunship footage I've seen with the Apaches in combat, like those systems, that's one hell of a weapon system. It's like you got these skilled pilots, and then you got a guy that's I say this with my tongue in cheek, who would be the best video game players on the fucking planet, because some of the things I've seen them do, like they're lining things up from a vast distance away, taking in a lot of factors, and they're putting lead on target. And I think one of my favourite ones is they were about to engage some guys that were planning an IED, and they're about to shoot them when they see a kid come up over the rise, and they go, hold fire, and you hear the pilot and the co-pilot just going, shit, this is no good. The kid gets away from the thing, and the two guys putting in the IED all of a sudden just go, they detonated their own IED. The kid was far enough away, the kid was safe, and the two pilots just start crying with laughter and go, well, we get to save some ammo, let's go back to base. And it's my favourite video of all time, because the only two people that were hurt were the two idiots that were planting the IED that was designed to ambush some poor guys in a freaking Humvee.
I don't remember where I heard
baby boomsticks. That's what Tech's sharing.
But
yeah, just a reminder that fast attacks can hit the land too.
Wow.
Well, just babies.
What? So they're tomahawks or something that get launched from
yeah, the VLS tomahawk.
Shit.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when I was at JSOC, we would
Are
we
you guys
had.
seeing this?
Oh yeah,
The black screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Is that a Buccaneer? Just behind
That's
the car? The front, that's got to be the front of a Buccaneer. Has to be.
Behind the car.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Yeah.
I think that is a Buccaneer.
Just behind that is the actual fuselage section of an F-14.
Oh, cool.
I'm trying to find out where I.
And
Here we go.
one of my favourite planes is the F-111 Aardvark, and Australia invented the PaveTac component, which basically, if you go old school,
Here you
that
go.
was some pretty high-tech stuff back in the day.
Bullet holes.
Holy shit.
Yep, and that's from December 7th, 1941.
Wow.
The first bomb that hit that opened up the assault is also still there on the runway.
Wow.
The building that is currently the Navy Lodge on Ford Island still has a few pop marks on some of the walls.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I toured Yorktown, which is only about an hour away from where I'm living at now. And there's a house in Yorktown that still has a cannonball lodged in the side of it.
Nice. So, Furball asked in the chat, anyone with knowledge of the Sea Sparrow?
Yeah, Navy Sea Sparrow. Yeah.
What would you like to know about it there, Furball?
It's a anti-missile weapon system. That's all that you really need to know.
Runway is grass now, mostly. As they still used it as a float base during World War II, but after that, everything was flying out of Hickam. Oh,
What was the question about Sea Sparrow?
Quantum Dipshit did a video on them recently, apparently.
Oh,
Really?
did he?
Okay, I'm kind of curious what he had to say about them, but
I may have to make a response video to that because Sea Sparrow. I'm fairly familiar with it.
What are your guys' opinions on the F-111?
Oh my god! So for the program that developed the F-111, it was technically a failure. But well, because keep in mind, the F-111 was supposed to be a joint venture between the Air Force and Navy. It was supposed to be the fleet air arm for intercept and fleet protection. It was too heavy and too unreliable for carrier duty. Which is why we ended up with the F-14.
Oh, well, that worked out well for everybody because we adopted the F-111 and we turned it into a multi-purpose thing. And we had it as a bomber, interceptor, all sorts. We loaded up big rate. Like that nose cone was a really handy thing because you could put really big different arrays of stuff. So we had them, the PaveTac system. We had a lot of success with the F1s, and we had them in the air till very recently. And we've just started. We got Super Hornets now, and we just took delivery of a couple of F-35s, which I'm not a huge fan of. I must admit.
They're very useful, but very expensive.
And very finicky. Now, here's the problem I've got with them. In Australia, you get ambient temperatures of well above 30 degrees, up plus 35 degrees. And at the time, the way they were keeping the computer systems cool on it was with the fuel. Now, here's the big problem. If the ambient temperature hits over 35 degrees, you know what the plane does automatically to keep itself cold? All of its internal bays go and spring open. It's no longer stealth. And we've been told, do not fly them anywhere near a fucking lightning storm. Very bad. It's like, have you seen Darwin where we're basing these things? That's
get daily thunderstorms.
Yeah, every afternoon. It's like there's a few problems there, but I've also seen that they've been ironing out a lot of the kinks. And I think where they went wrong is they tried to design the plane and have the production run going at the same time before they'd finished the design of the plane. And then every time they'd tweak the design, they'd have to go into the production facility and change part of the production stuff to match the new parts of the plane. And that's where all the cost overruns come into it and the extreme lateness of the project. But as their effectiveness as a plane, apparently they're second to none.
Well, yeah, the U.S. Air Force actually ended up making it into an electronics warfare platform that was in flight up until the mid '90s.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I was a big fan of the Tomcat. Tomcat was a badass plane.
Yep.
And it actually did in its later days have some laser guided bombs, and it had what was it called? Help me out, Jared. Tarps.
Yeah, the TARPS pod.
Yeah, yeah. The tactical air reconnaissance pod system was very useful. I think they phased it out too soon, in my opinion.
Well, they did, but then again, when you look at how satellite technology progressed and how quickly it advanced as a surveillance platform, it kind of made sense why they started shifting more towards that. But at the same time, where they really shot themselves in the foot is they cut back on it so rapidly that there ended up only being a couple squadrons qualified to utilize the platform,
right?
For reactionary purposes, because there are times a low level reconnaissance run is beautiful for accuracy.
Well, yeah. Well, also, I mean, I think it was a better dogfighter than the Hornets are. Given a qualified pilot, I think it could out dogfight Hornet because it had the swept wing.
Well, yeah, because it slowed down when the wings went to the forward position. The F-14 could turn with an A4.
Oh yeah, and that's why I think it was a superior dogfighter. But when's the last time? That's another argument. When's the last time any of our aircraft have been in a dogfight? And that's been a long fucking time ago.
Navy side was
just post Vietnam, I think a couple times.
But
maybe.
I've seen footage of F-15s engaging. I think it was Iranian fighters, and they shot down fucking 2 Iranian fighters. F-15 Strike Eagles. You ain't lost one of them. Now, question: why the fuck aren't you just flying Strike Eagles? They're untouchable. Those things. You never lost one in combat ever.
So the reason why the Strike Eagle is not a more prevalent platform, money and flexibility on the platform. Because the Strike Eagle is pretty much a do-all weapons platform with the second operator, you actually do have limitations on range and loiter time based on both the loadout and also the crew itself.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
So the single-seat F-15 has a greater combat air patrol time because it's generally not loaded out with any ground weapons, so they can max out on their air-to-air platforms and also the fuel load because, well, one pilot and a lighter weapons payload.
Right, and that's the problem with the legacy, the first generation FA-18s, is you would shoot it off the aircraft carrier and it would almost immediately have to hit a tanker because it was basically a lawn dart. You would shoot it off the pointy end and it had to immediately refuel.
Right.
The Super Hornet has a lot longer legs.
Ooh. And drinking the Cosmos.
That explains why Australia's just upgraded all of their Hornets to Super Hornets, basically.
The Super Hornets has much longer legs. And with that said, I am going to punch out.
Oh, come on!
I have an announcement.
I'll listen to your announcement.
Okay. There's not going to be a movie night, but there is going to be a special stream at 11.
Okay. With reference to
what channel?
Die.
On SciStrike.
Produced by Piggy.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, god.
What? I want to behave. I promise.
Yep. Piggy, I sent you a message that doesn't need to be for public consumption, but look at it on Discord. I know. No, I'm a broken record on this, but I just wanted to make one last run at this topic. Please, sir.
Okay. See you in another 8 hours.
All right. I'm going to punch out. Good night, folks.
Oh,
Night.
good. Nice meeting everybody.
Hey,
Yeah,
Red, you don't have to leave yet.
I do. Oh, yeah. Blitz, good to meet you, ma'am, and I will see you all next week.
I want a drink of that water.
Shall I play it, Jared?
Let's see the stupid.
Hold on. Ball busters? Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So don't think he's mean. Just realise he's dumb.
Yeah.
Flat means curved. Flat means curved.
Yeah.
Anyone else just
we're
have
ready to
an
move if
urge
you
to
like.
punch?
Yeah, I've got you up.
Anyone else just have the urge to punch their screen?
That's why I keep it.
I would, but
more than an arm's length away. I can't even 1-inch finger punch him.
All right, let's go.
So I would say every one of these are my favorite, so I stopped doing that. But this is definitely one. The
Look at
Evolved
that
Sea
missile.
Sparrow Missile, the ESSM Block 1. And let me get your attention down to this little contraption down here, right here on the bottom. You guys see this? This is pivotal in this argument. These are the target illuminators. They're the target illuminators. They're going to become very important here in a few minutes. So the general characteristics of the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block 1. Primary function, surface to air and surface to surface radar guided missile. This is very important right here. This is
Commentary.
Okay, so here's the thing. So far he's not wrong, but I have a question. Is he going to mention the drastic difference in effective and usable range?
I have another question. Why are all of his presentations in Gmail drafts?
Because
every time.
And also look like a ransom note?
That too.
Wait, so that's what you guys make your ransom notes look like?
No, I use magazine clippings that I have somebody else clip out so their fingerprints are on it.
Yep.
Okay. I normally just take some crown and make sure Main Gun's fingerprints are on it. What happened to Main Gun? Is he okay?
Don't know.
You know, I have not heard from him in a while, and I do not have a means to contact him off air.
I'll try to find a way. Is that weird, me saying I'll try to find a way? Because I'm pretty sure I have a way.
If you have a way, then by all means, let's get back to the idiot.
Air to air or anything else, all of it, both functions, surface to air, surface to surface. This is directly from the Navy.mil. Okay?
Okay.
Bistatic semi-active seekers in the nose of a missile receive a reflected signal from a target that is being illuminated with an RF signal transmitted from a fire control radar.
Okay.
This guy.
Not necessarily,
On a
though.
standoff platform, for example, aircraft or ship. In our example, it's a ship. These are surface-fired missiles.
Okay, stop it right there.
Oh,
So, how many people know of the Aegis system?
Yeah,
I do.
Can I just have a shot at this? Now, I'm never served in the military. I just have a great amount of respect for people who do. And I'll just say, I'm guessing that weapon system is linked into what's called a array of fucking things on that ship. So it wouldn't just have a little tiny thing set down low near the waterline. Obviously, it's probably going to be able to get in and have a crack at the ship's main radar. That's my guess. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
So, he is
not just one ship.
Yes, not just one ship, and also and also that picture that he is using can be slightly deceptive. Hey,
want me to back it up a little bit to get up
No, I don't have to. Blitz, about how far off is the flight deck of both an aircraft carrier and an amphib from the waterline? Roughly?
If I remember right, it's actually no, I don't remember.
A good 70 to 80 feet?
Yeah.
And that illumination platform that he pointed out is about 6-7 feet below that tops.
Yep. And if they're using the main radars, those are even higher.
Yep.
Just imagine if they're using an aircraft too. Ooh.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot
hold
like
on. I'll be nice and I'll grant him that he's going with just a ship though this time.
it's a lot like using a spotter for shore bombardment.
I was going to say, and if it's being used for air-to-air, surface-to-air, won't the illuminator be pointing upwards anyway?
Yep.
If that's what the target is, yeah.
One would think. More stupid. Oh, you want to say something?
I already see what he's getting at.
Yeah. So let's let him actually make the mistake before we ram it up his ass.
Required that the platform maintain what? Line of sight to the target until it is engaged by the missile. Ship-based standard missile and the NATO Sea Sparrow anti-air missiles are examples of such a semi-active mode. The NATO Sea Sparrow requires a constant signal for homing. From naval technology, ranges more than 35 miles.
And
The
stop
target
it,
is
and stop
illuminated
it
with
right
a
there.
2-degree.
Notice how he only gave one range.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone want to take a guess which range he is sighting?
Maximum.
Not just maximum, but maximum against what type of target?
Airborne.
Air. Yeah.
There you go.
But also, in the right atmospheric conditions, you can get radar to see that far. Not often, but
Yeah, it would be very unusual to get the radar to see a surface target that far from that altitude.
yeah.
More stupid.
More stupid.
RF pencil beam, which has to be maintained, that is painted on the target until detonation. At a more than generous 50 feet elevation above sea level, that's the target illumination radar
Hang
height.
on. More than generous 50 feet? It's more like 60 to 70 feet. Just for the illuminator radar.
Yep.
The target should be hidden behind 463 feet of curvature. So,
well, stop it right there.
This is surface to air. It's not going to be on the surface for one thing.
Correct. And
he's also assuming that the target has no height.
Yeah, and that hidden behind that many feet of curvature, what are the chances he is quoting a drop calculation, not an actual hidden calculation?
I think he's still
He's
going
also
for the
probably using that damn 8 feet per mile squared?
8 inches mile. 8 inches per mile squared.
Even if he was using the hidden, or is he proposing hitting an aircraft at 400 feet from 35 miles away? It's a 400 feet altitude I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. The 8 inches per mile calculation is your drop height, not. It's drop from the tangent. It's not your hidden. So just for shits and
It's
kicks,
also not even entirely accurate.
no, it's not. It's only accurate up to about 100 miles. And then it gets increasingly out. One, because, well, terrain is a thing. And two, the actual formula ends up being a parabola, not a circle.
Right.
All right, so just for shits and kicks, 8 inches per mile squared, which, let's call it 35 squares.
Just to see if he got his math right.
Mic check 1 2. Can you hear me?
And that is inches.
Whoever just did the mic check, I did hear you.
Yeah.
Yay!
So that is 9,800 inches, which equates to 816 feet.
Okay.
So what? Let's see what manipulations he has going on here.
Ready for more stupid?
Yeah.
Please explain how you can have line of sight 35 miles away on a spinning ball by showing how a 2-degree RF pencil beam can penetrate 463 feet, that's 141 meters of target hidden height, through a wall of water 24 miles in length.
All right,
Ooh,
pause it.
ooh, ooh,
Pause
I know,
it.
I
Who
know, I know,
who wants
I
to
know.
answer it?
I know. It's because of the height of it being on a boat.
Not just that. So one, he has the elevation of the illuminator wrong. He's shortchanging it. Two, that 35 miles is for an airborne target, not a surface target.
Oh, and can I say 2 degrees is not a pencil beam?
No,
2
it's
degrees
not. It's a cone.
Well, it's pretty wide as well. I mean, I'm more used to working with 1-degree beams.
Just hang on. Yeah. Well, yeah, pencil is typically half a degree, if I remember right. Now, it's been a while, but a lot of these so far, yeah.
All right. More stupid.
PS 35 miles is lowballing. The official max effective range is classified, i.e.,
Not
it's
by much.
much greater than
No, it's
35
not.
miles.
No, it's not much greater.
So here's the thing: the effective mileage is determined by two factors. Does someone not familiar with the weapons platform want to venture a guess as to what the two factors are?
Fuel.
Fuel is one.
Warhead.
Nope. It's not the warhead. It's actually the which platform is actually making the designation in the communicated network. If it's the carrier, yeah, it's 35 miles from there, and then on the short end. If you're in a typical combat deployment where you're outside picket of destroyers, which are the ones really tied into the Aegis data control network, you are looking at about 30 miles from that point, and that's at the extreme range of the fuel.
Okay.
And that is for interception location.
Yeah, the link system is nice when it works right.
Yeah, when it works right.
I'll just quickly explain why I said warhead. I assume that they might have different payloads for different targets.
Nope.
That was my guess.
No,
I was incorrect.
Nope. So in the chat when this first came up, there was a quick discussion about what type of warhead this one uses, and there was a little bit of confusion. The Sea Sparrow does use a shrapnel type of warhead where it essentially acts like a shotgun shell. With a wide dispersal range to physically damage the missile that's incoming towards the carrier. The expandable rod warhead is actually the type of warhead that is used on the Sidewinder air-to-air missile. That one is also a proximity heat tracker. It gets when it gets under the heat source, the timer, the primer starts to go off, and with how quickly it's traveling, it ends up theoretically being just in front of the heat source when the warhead goes off, expanding that rod warhead, which essentially cuts the back half of the aircraft off.
God damn. That's brutal.
Yeah. But that's also why...
That's what money buys.
Well, that's also why air-to-air kills with the Sidewinder missile, you end up seeing a lot of the enemy pilots end up ejecting. Because it doesn't just explode the aircraft, it actually disables the aircraft and gives them time to eject if they're a trained pilot before the damage ends up causing the ultimate catastrophic failure. because it also depends on just where it is when it separates and how much of the engine is left and left running with fuel going to it.
Yeah, because the engagement I saw, the two F-15s, they both pilots that were shot down, they ejected. They said, we see two shoots, and then you hear the pilots, so let's get the fuck out of here and get back to base, because obviously the Iranians were going to scramble everything they had to go up and meet the two F-15s. So the F-15s went later and hightailed it out of there at top speed. On the deck too, they just went, get down the deck and let's get the fuck out of here.
Can anybody answer me why A and B cannot exist at the same time?
Because he doesn't fucking understand how the missile system works to begin with.
Furball says that his biggest claim is that the designator must be directly coupled with the weapons platform. He discusses it a bit.
No, see, okay, so his big misunderstanding is how laser designators for U.S. smart munitions do not have to be directly coupled to where the weapon is fired from. I mean, this is where your close air support smart weapons that are now typically carried on the FA-18 Hornet platform, both the Legacy and Super Hornet. There are two ways for it to get a designation. You can have a forward operator on the ground with a handheld ground type of illuminator, being a forward control operator to designate the target, or if the pilot has the intelligence prior to takeoff, then they typically have their own lantern pod where they will be able to self-designate as they get in range. Either or. As the laser operates in the same frequency, which lets the smart munition focus in and actually pick that laser out of all the other potential frequency ranges that could be out there, which is why they are so effective.
I also want to point out that just because the actual max effective range is classified doesn't mean it's much, much greater than the reported max range.
Well, it's like the classified top speed of a U.S. aircraft carrier. Not as fast as some people think it is.
Same with an Ohio class submarine.
The damn things can haul ass, but not as much as some people think.
We could travel in excess of 20 knots.
Yeah.
So can we.
Yeah.
So can an LHD. Barely.
Oh, no. I was commenting in that way because literally both the fast attack and the boomers are classified as speeds greater than or in excess of 20 knots. How much faster, I can't say, but yeah.
It's in excess of that. That's how much faster.
Yeah.
So one of the big advantages of this type
There are cases where it might be much, much greater than the reported, but usually it's not.
Yeah. So what were you trying to say, Alan?
One of the big advantages of this type of radar system with these missiles is they're almost impossible to jam, because the minute you start transmitting signals on the same frequency to jam it, it'll track the jammer instead. Boof.
Yep.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
The RAF lost a remote controlled Canberra with a load of jamming shit in it against a Bloodhound Mark II with a telemetry pack, because instead of being a missile, it became a hitile.
Yeah, I mean,
it just zoned straight in on the jammer and went right through the middle of the bloody.
Your best bet if you have something that you don't want to get hit by one of these is to set up jammers in areas that you're okay with being hit.
Yeah.
Wow. Good insurance policy against jamming, though. It's like just someone tries to fuck with your missile goes, right, I'll be having a bit of you instead.
Well, and that's the thing, is that's actually where knowing that and knowing the tactics used against it, there's a reason why. So when when the U.S. Navy decided to retire the EA-6B Prowler and replace it with the Hornet airframe variant, the Growler, they kept the same jamming pods, the ALQ-99 and ALQ-209. They kept them for a reason, because they're goddamn fucking good at their job, and they don't do the job in the typical fashion. I'm not at liberty to say how they do their job, but just say, it's fucking nifty.
My guess would be that they try and frame someone else for the job of fucking jamming the fucking object that's trying to be jammed and make it look like someone else. That's just a guess, and we'll leave it at that. That's how I'd try and do it, because I'm a sneaky prick. I'd try and pin it on someone else. They wasn't me. I didn't do it. They did it.
Okay, I just have one word for you: emus.
Oh. We have to go back to our most glorious failure in military fucking action ever. Well, we have the Rats of Tobruk. We did redeem ourselves in World War II. Come on. The Rats of Tobruk did a fine job, but the fellas did the Emu War. What were we thinking?
I think the problem is you weren't thinking.
Yeah. Yes, clearly someone sat at the pub one day a bit too long, and just before they went home said, "Oh, start all those bloody emus looking at me funny."
All right, more stupid.
So, either A, the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile, that's the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 1 exists, or the spinning ball religion exists. Both can't be true. The end. The knighted spinning space monkeys live in a fairy tale.
Whoa, pause it. Go back a little bit. Should I be offended at something he put there?
Sure, why not?
All right, hold on. I went a little
How
too
a
far
2
back.
degree?
Yeah, go ahead and play it a little bit. If you need to mute it, mute it. It's a few seconds before that. A few seconds after that. A little further. You know, just mute and play.
He doesn't sound any better at 2 times speed.
No, so just... There. Nope, a little further. There we go, stop. Does anyone else see a word in there that...
You mean the religion?
Very few people other than me use in this community?
Oh. Savvy?
Yeah. I think he's been watching me.
I really want to point out that by putting the word religion in there, they both can be true. They both can be true. Both of those statements can be true.
Yeah.
Let's just assume that the spinning ball religion is a thing. That doesn't make it right, but it could still exist.
Yes.
Just saying.
Because a religion requires faith, and faith is a belief without evidence.
Exactly. So, the religion can still exist. Whether it's true or not is another question.
Okay, so we've just established that he doesn't know very much about military weapon systems. He don't know that much about the shape of the planet, and he doesn't logic very well either.
No, not
wow.
at all.
Are we surprised?
Oh
Isn't this
no!
the guy with caterpillar eyebrows?
So, wait. The knighted spinning space monkeys, huh? So he must be referring to Radical and Sir Sick. Right?
It could be.
Yeah.
I'm naming my next band the Knighted Spinning Space Monkeys. Thank you, dude. I'm stealing it.
Oh.
Consider that stolen, Nathan.
I'll play
like,
drums.
I drove it like I stole it. Ooh. I'm nicking that. That's a great name for a punk band. Knighted Spinning Space Monkeys.
Okay, now if you do that, you have to do a cover of a particular Beastie Boys song and change the lyric to Space Monkey.
We could do that.
Definitely could do that.
we will just cover songs but change them slightly so it just talks about our spinning space monkey religion that we all believe in.
Can we have animated characters like the gorillas?
Yes.
Ooh. I like that.
I gotta be a parody of Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls.
I'm going to be an emu.
A military. Okay, so let me get this right. The reason why you're picking the emu is because you're channeling your inner Batman. You take the image of what you fear most.
Well, it is the dark. He is the Dark Knight. You know, it just makes sense.
It's going to be an emu, but it's going to be modeled after Che Guevara. There you go. One man's terrorist is another emu's freedom fighter. I'll leave it at that.
If you're gonna do that, you have to get the Steven Crowder T-shirt put on there.
Yes, communism is for figs.
Socialism
is for figs. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get an emu. I'm gonna find the perfect emu photo. I'll put a beret on that son of a bitch.
Oh, what debauchery are we creating tonight, Jared?
Oh, this is fucking beautiful. All right. And we got another suggestion for one of the other characters. A combat wombat. Thank you, Peter Harrington.
Oh, God. This is just getting awesome.
Block 1 exists. Or
hang on, I was just looking at his side chat.
Okay, so for in the live chat, yes, I know the link that Nightbot is posting is inaccurate. Thank you, Furball, for posting one that does work. I will be updating it at some point tomorrow after the show.
I was just looking at Quantum Eraser's side chat here.
Oh,
from
great.
From Nathan Oakley. Please share the show on Facebook and Twitter to beat YouTube censorship.
Heart.
And yet,
Heart.
And yet, he is still able to stream and post on YouTube.
What censorship is that?
I like Muhammad's answer. He just went, no. No. Doesn't beat around the bush, Muhammad. He's no. Probably Australian.
I wonder if Gently's channel is
and if
related
you look
to JM Truth.
If you look at Muhammad's comment above that, LOS is short distance. Yes, when the line of sight is from the aircraft carrier itself.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, our long-range missiles can go a couple hundred, or at least 800. So, yeah.
Wait a second. Hold on. So, using Nathan's logic, there's no way in hell that intercontinental ballistic missiles can be true, because how can they see past the curvy bit to get to Russia to blow things up, man? Oh.
Most of them design nuclear stuff anyway.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun searching Oakley's channel for some keywords there.
Oh, this will be fun. All right, let's get to the next level of dumb fuckery.
Religion exists. Both can't be true.
Yes, they can.
The end. The knighted spinning space monkeys live in a fairy tale.
You have no idea how tracking systems work. You're an idiot. Shut the fuck up.
I don't know how tracking system works. Therefore, flat Earth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Right?
See if you can follow this.
Oh, okay. Yep, right there. Number 2. So, range of the Block 1 is 50 kilometers. Give or take. Yeah, it's actually, it's much farther. Classified. No, it's not.
Just because it's classified doesn't mean it's much further.
The target must be illuminated by an RF pencil beam via a target illumination radar on the launch ship. Wrong.
Wrong again.
Wrong. Oh, wait. No. Let's do it right. Let's channel Dr. Cox appropriately. Wrong.
You're wrong.
All right, go ahead.
Target illumination radar and okay.
Must be on the launch
Range of the evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 1 is 50 kilometers. Actually, it's much farther, like I just said. It's classified. Number 2, the target must be illuminated by an RF pencil beam via target illumination radar on the launch ship for the weapon system to engage.
Nope.
It is considered a line of sight missile, but that's because whatever ship is guiding it has to have line of sight
to the target. Yeah.
And how does he know that there isn't a very dedicated Marine stationed in an X-37B in orbit with a packed lunch with a targeting little beam there, and he just open up the cargo bay door,
It could be a Marine on a dinghy for all he knows.
Exactly.
I mean, we do tend to drop them off the back every now and then.
Quit throwing the crayons overboard, Jared. Jesus.
Ergo, it must have line of sight. Number 3, the target illumination radar and the evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 1 must be on the same launch ship.
Wrong.
Number 4, surface target ships and sea skimmers are engaged by the evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 1 from the launch ships.
No, they're not.
It's a little bit ambiguous, but...
No, so what he's saying right here is that the engagement of the target is from the launch ship. No.
Yeah, no.
Because here is the thing. The destroyers do not carry the Sea Sparrow. The cruisers and aircraft carriers do. But they all have the combined...
LHDs have a Sea Sparrow, too.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for a typical carrier battle group, because that's my direct experience.
Right.
But so the destroyer has the Aegis Control Center, which can take information from all the sensors in the Combined Combat Data Network, CCDN. And by that...
There's a reason they're called Aegis destroyers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And from that network, any ship with that control center can designate a target to be fired upon. And the closest, clearest weapons platform to engage that target via the designation is where the actual launch will come from. Which is actually why there was one live fire exercise of the Sea Sparrow that I was involved in. And guess what we had just on the horizon at about 50 degrees aft of amidships as part of this test fire. Oh, yeah, it was one of our Arleigh Burke destroyers. I wonder why that is. Which, by the way, normally, you can barely see the bastards when we're out to sea.
Yep. Yeah, they're usually in a standard formation. They're usually 8 to 10 miles apart.
Yep, the nuclear formation.
Or stupid.
Number 5, the horizon at 50 feet elevation, according to the Begging the Question curve calculators, is 8.65 miles. Ergo, the limit of line of sight on a sphere is 8.65 miles at that elevation.
Well, then I guess it's a beautiful thing that the actual platform for the Sea Sparrow is a good 20 feet taller.
And also, of course, it'll still see shit that's sticking up, that's past the horizon, that's sticking up above it.
Yep.
Exactly. That's why when the lookouts see something that's on or beyond the horizon, they don't say a distance for it. They say that it's on the horizon. Because it's possible to see something really far away that's partially over the horizon.
Oh, God.
I wish I could have taken this lovely photo I had one time back in the Med, because I was looking at the HMS London, and she was over the horizon to the periscope. And you could see her masts, but could not see the rest of the ship. And there were no... That would have been a perfect one for these flat earthers, because there was no wave slaps on the periscope either. So the periscope was above the wave type.
Your bathtub doesn't count with models.
I used to live in a spot and we could go down the beach and look out the horizon, and you wouldn't see shit. But I'd go inland a kilometre to our farm and then go up on the hill. So it's about 50, 60 metres elevation compared to water level right on the low tide mark, and look out to the ocean. And there you would see half the container ship. So the hull would be obscured down below the horizon, but you could see the tops and the containers. And sometimes they'd be in a bit closer. You'd see more of them. And sometimes it'd be a little bit further out because there was a shipping lane just off the Gold Coast. And it was at that perfect distance where they basically, if you get up on the beach, you can't see them. But if you get 50, 60 metres up, so you get up the top of high rises, you start seeing all of these ships. And you also at night used to watch the trawlers, and some of the lights are dead on the horizon with a good swell. They'd disappear and reappear and disappear and reappear, bobbing on the fucking horizon.
Also about this too, one thing too is he's actually saying here that they would be engaging a ship with a ESSM Block 1.
Uh-huh. It is possible, but not the preferred. Again, because the warhead type, because it's the shrapnel type, you can conceivably deploy it against a surface target. However, its primary purpose is airborne.
Air targets, yeah.
Yep.
You have other missiles on these ships for surface targets, so why would you be engaging it?
Wait. You mean the AGM-85 is a thing?
You mean there's more than one kind of missile?
Well, fuck! From the chat, Furball, if my periscope comes up during bath time, I know I need to add some cold water. Wait. Is it cold water or Mama-san?
Oh.
Depends. Is he in Korea or Colorado?
Load a sub with flat earthers. Well, we could use the flat earthers to check our impulse system on our torpedo tubes.
We could, yeah.
Oh, that way. Oops. We lost another.
There will never be any evidence.
Now, I vote we use them for like geology experiments. So we go to say like, I don't know, Kilauea when it's erupting, and we use them as a test subject, and the test is called "Is it lava?" And we throw one of them in there, and if they and just turn into flames and disappear under the surface, we can go, "It's lava," and if they land and go on hard rock, we can go, "It's not lava."
Some of them are going off.
You would not sink in lava. You'd hit the surface of it and you just skittle around burning, you know.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. There's a couple of them going off on how volcanoes don't actually exist.
So we do have another suggestion from the chat. Use them as shielding for the nuclear reactor.
Well, no, liquid is an effective shit like water. Enough water can shield you from radiation. Yep. So we just line how thick? Yeah. 6, 8 feet thick. So 6 to 8 flat earthers deep shielding. I think.
So Jared Strain, the Nimitz flight deck is listed as about 60 feet above the waterline. It varies a bit depending on load. Launch platforms for the Sea Sparrow, I think, are 2 decks below. 2 decks above the flight deck. No. The only things above the flight deck on an aircraft carrier are the island superstructure, and there are no launch vehicles for weapons platforms on the superstructure of an aircraft carrier. All weapons platforms are around the deck edge of the flight deck, so they're technically half a deck below. And the height of the Nimitz class flight deck is it's actually typical load. It is as low as 60 feet with full load, full fuel, which is rare.
BM beat me to it. Okay. More stupid. By the way, did you see Holy Sway's comment to Nathan?
Let me see. Please stop reading directly from the document. It's just bad presentation unless you don't think that your audience can read. And wow. And by the way, it's not Nathan reading. It's Quantum Fuckstick.
I know it is.
If the ESSM Block 1 can engage surface targets from ships at anything greater than 8.65 miles, that's 13.9 kilometers, and it most assuredly can, then the Earth must be flat.
Nope.
The prosecution rests simple. They live in a fairy tale, the end.
Yeah, except the designator does not have to be directly tied to the launcher. You can have a remote designator as long as the radar, the laser is on the appropriate frequency.
Oh, read the red
Shocking.
quote. Read the red quote.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So unlike REM 7 Sea Sparrow, and Block 2's active seeker will support terminal engagement without. Wow. Now, the Block 1, and the Block 2 both have the capability for tracking from any designation source using the appropriate frequency. Full stop.
He doesn't understand networking at all, even at a basic level by the looks of it, because I understand that the weapons platform would have an ability to talk to other parts of the network, or else it sort of limits it.
Well, so here's the thing. He's trying to...
We were playing with a tactical data network back in the mid-90s.
Oh,
yeah. This shit
even
exists.
Before then.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
Even before then, because here's the thing. A lot of people think that the Hornet platform is a young airframe, which technically it is, but here's the thing that people don't realize. So the F-14 was started flying back in the late 60s, early 70s. The Hornet started flying at the end of the 70s, early 80s with the laser guided munitions platform that they like to use, the paveway system, that was implemented in the mid 80s.
Jared, we had that link system operating in NATO in Western Europe, integrated air defense system in the mid 70s.
Yeah. So this is not new technology. This is not a new concept.
Oh, but it is. For the flat earthers. More stupid.
A typical comeback to this, and I've touched on it up above. But the missile and the target illumination radar don't have to be on the same ship, Quantum Racer. Factually incorrect by Raytheon. Unlike the RIM C-7 Sea Sparrow missile and the ESSM Block 1. Block 2's active seeker will support terminal engagement without the launch ship's target illumination radars.
Pause it.
This...
Yes, that was the upgrade to the Block 2, was having a second seeker that was active. So it actually increased the effectiveness of the weapons platform by utilizing the semi-active, it's not semi-active, it's a passive seeker to get the designator return. They use that for the initial phase, but then once they get within 10 nautical miles of the target, the active seeker then picks up on the target and takes over. That is the upgrade to the Block 2.
I've just got a quick question for the flat earthers. So the Earth's flat, right? Okay. Why aren't the Russian Navy and the American Navy just sitting halfway across the world from each other, shooting railguns at each other across this perfectly flat plane that you fucking think exists? When they have naval, fight. Why aren't people hundreds of miles away just lobbing shells at each other with railguns? Come on, flat earthers. I'd really like you to just address a few questions, because you keep coming up with a whole bunch of stupid shit. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of stupid shit now. Fuck it.
And so reading ahead, this is what's funny. Yes, it's reported that they're not going to be ready till 2020. That's not true.
Well, if they're not ready, how does he know about them, and why is he reading about the capabilities of them?
Well, here's the funny thing. I've been off active duty for over 10 years now. And I knew about the Block 2 before I left active duty.
Well,
There were hints of it before I left active duty. When I left in 2004, and they were starting the basic what are we gonna do contracts type of thing. Because I don't know, there's just something about wanting to make sure that you get the newest greatest technology and staying ahead of everybody else that I think we try to keep down pat.
Yeah. And really, weapons technology is a lot more complicated than some people think it is. But it's also very interesting if it's something you're interested in.
yeah. I love the development. Someone thought, hey, see these artillery shells? If we put a smart warhead on it, we can shoot these things facing a certain way, and we can have our shell arc. I think last time I saw the testing, 20 degrees off target, and the shell will swing around and go and land on the target. And they've also got the capability now where they'll shoot, I think it's 10 in a row in rapid succession. The Germans have got a system where the first one will be shot on a really high lobbing trajectory, and the last shot will be like nearly a flat rifle shot, and all 10 shells arrive at the same time and just go. It's like, oh. So they really do put a lot of thought in, and it's not just a matter of walking and putting some metal into a lathe, turning up some barrels, plug them into a block and thinking you got a weapon system. There's a hell of a lot more that goes into it than what used to be just a rifle barrel and a contained explosion.
Tell that to my potato gun.
So
hey, that runs off of compressed air.
Touche.
So another question about this from the chat that actually, even though it was directed at me, I think I'd like to hear your take on the answer, Blitz. Is the argument that the system won't physically fire without active tracking on the target by the firing platform?
That does seem to be his argument.
But
the network.
But it's wrong.
All right.
No, we're all just paid shills. You can't trust us. We don't know what we're talking about. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, it's not like there aren't people here on the panel with the appropriate warfare qualifications where we actually had to learn the basics of how these systems actually fucking worked.
Right. I'd know more if I'd been an FC instead of an OS, but I remember some basic stuff.
I got to deal with missiles that you could fire from 1,200 nautical miles away and hit something that was 3 feet wide.
I would like to take a shot at this. Now, I'm going to assume something about this weapon system. That the weapon system we're talking about now, you can get a passive lock on it. Well, I'll just call it a passive lock. Please forgive my terminology because I'm going to fuck a lot of shit up here. But
that's close enough.
You get a passive lock. You can then go hit the launch button, get that weapon in the air, and then wait until you get what we'll call a hard lock on it, and then the weapon will go. It's already heading towards the target, but then you'll get that secondary hard lock just to confirm, and then punch its ticket. But I suspect you can do what's called a soft lock launch and get that thing in the air prematurely, so to speak, just in case you need it there. That would be my assumption.
Yeah. So exactly the Sea Sparrow, the way it works, when you're using the laser/radar designator, that is the Block 1, the initial rollout of the RIM 7. That's how it worked. It needed that. So once you got confirmation that the target was painted and being tracked while painting, then they would launch the weapon itself, and you keep it painted, keep it tracked the entire time. With the Block 2, you do that, you launch. Once you hit essentially the point of no return, if you lose tracking on with the paint, with the radar beam, the weapon is still going to end up tracking, because that's where that secondary active seeker comes in, to where it can self-track.
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes a lot of sense to have just basically a secondary tracking system on board the thing, so it's it can go and do its job properly.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: the reason why they built that in is actually here's the thing: weapons designers actually do think worst case. So say the destroyer that is out actively painting the target gets taken out when the missile platform, the weapons suite, is mid-flight. If you have Block 2s that are mid-flight, no harm, no foul, they're going to keep going. But if you're using Block 1 or the original, once you lose where the source of the designation is coming from, the missiles are literally flying blind.
Basically a dumb munition at that point, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And if I remember right, it does have a proximity fuse, which is actually what sets off the warhead, if I remember correctly. And in that case, you lose paint, you lose tracking. You might get lucky. Might.
If it's tending a general direction, you're usually all right anyway.
Well,
you don't fire these things at your friends.
Well, the comparison is, take someone shooting a shotgun shell, and then you're off at an angle trying to take out that slug with a .22 rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is an interceptor. This is a missile interceptor system, isn't it? I keep getting that. This isn't an offensive weapon. This is designed to intercept incoming missiles by that shotgun blast of metal shredding the incoming projectile and
correct
either detonating it or making it crash, whatever.
Yep.
Either either.
Yep,
Okay.
which is why it uses a proximity fuse, not like on the Sidewinder where it's tied in with its thermal seeker. It uses the thermal seeker plus the proximity. When the two correlate, the Sidewinder goes off. On the Sea Sparrow, the Sparrow air-to-air missile, which it was based off of, and also the AMRAAM, it's just a pure proximity. Once it gets close to the target, the proximity sensor takes over. It gets close enough to detect metal. Boom! I go off.
Damn.
Which proximity sensors, proximity fuses for weapons, do you know how far back that dates?
Oh, I would have no idea, but I'm guessing that it's an old element of modern warfare.
Quite a while as far as
it was developed interwar prior to World War II.
There you go. Yeah, warfare has certainly pushed technology up. Every time we go to have a decent war that's like on a global level, technology seems to get a really good push along. And thanks to World War II, we're basically shooting rockets around the joint, exploring the solar system.
Yep.
And the German rocket program that everyone had the big race to Berlin for, and all of the German scientists went, well, we got a choice here, and the lucky ones made it to where the West grabbed them. The unlucky ones didn't make it and were grabbed by the Russians. That was a joke. I'm kidding. Russia's a lovely place.
Oh my god! So speaking of the
modern
comments in
Russia
their
isn't
live
too
chat,
bad from what I hear, but
oh, back in the day, it was fucking shit. So read the message at the bottom from Brenda Von Ashen.
Yeah. You can't spell sight.
Yeah.
oh no! I wasn't even paying attention to that. What was he doing? Spelling it SITE?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's so much stupid that going on here, and like, we're being bombarded with it on it, like with audio, and we've also got to read it, and our senses do get overwhelmed. So we must forgive ourselves for these oversights. Don't beat ourselves up.
Yeah, there's too much shit there to be worried, to be like quibbling over spelling errors, you know.
Yeah.
Oh god.
You gotta watch Rider of Dinosaurs videos on JM Truth.
Oh yeah, they are fucking hilarious. So here's a question. So he cited a Raytheon talking about the Block 2 Sea Sparrow. Why do I have the feeling that consortium is not the word that they used?
I was just going to point that one out too. Is why the hell or what the hell does he mean by using the word consortium? Because I don't know of any modern inter-country alliance that uses the term consortium.
What did Apple and I don't know, Amazon combine their forces and start a military?
Well, didn't you know that's who's actually running the military?
Shh. Keep that on the down low, dude.
Honestly, I think the military would be better if they were.
Shh.
Keep that on the down low.
Wait. You mean the U.S. military is still using 3 and 4 year old operating system platforms for its data network?
Have you seen the state of some of your nuclear silos? They're still
Wait a
using
minute, hold on.
floppies that are bigger than pizzas, for Christ's
Wait a minute,
sake.
Jared. 3 or 4 years old? Do you honestly think it's that up to date?
No, not 3 to 4 years, 3 to 4 versions.
Yeah. Windows 98, second edition, baby.
Oh, I kid you not. We were running NT on the ship in 2006.
We were running 95 for a while on mine.
Windows for work groups. I've got you all big.
Imagine being aboard one of the state-of-the-art nuclear carriers and you hear this announcement like,
"This is your captain speaking. All crew prepare to upgrade to Windows XP."
And the servers were running Naval NetWare.
Yeah.
I win. Well, Alan probably could beat me. He knows what he had back then.
I mean, I was using...
Oh, hey, hang on. From Furball in the chat, in all caps, websites keep giving me warnings that my computer and browser are using old security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean...
You shouldn't be getting that message from the bridge of a state-of-the-art aircraft carrier. That's all I'm saying.
We had equipment on board our ship that was like 15 years old just by runtime alone, let alone how old it actually was.
Good God.
Because our DDRT table had a runtime clock on it, and I did the math on it once. Damn thing was 15 years old just by runtime.
Damn.
The processors in our combat control computer were designed in the early 70s.
Oh, so this isn't even military, but this is government contract work. The systems that are currently operating at my airport, one of the computers is using a 486 processor.
Oh, yes. Old school, baby.
But then it's talking to a more recent Supermicro server type computer that is running Fedora Core 3. Yeah, no, you did not hear that wrong. A computer doing threat detection equipment work in 2019 is running on a computer that's operating system is Linux Fedora Core 3.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
Do you know just how much more efficient they could be if they actually stayed up to date on their electronics tech and nothing else?
Well, here's the problem with this stuff though, because of the way the contract is. In order to upgrade the system to where they were no longer using that Pentium computer for the hardware controls, and to upgrade the other computer to do more and run more efficiently with Fedora Core 10, they had to completely recertify the product line as a new product with those computers.
Of course they would, but it would still be... me personally, would think it'd be worth it. I know it would cost more, but it would be worth it.
Well, yeah, that's what they did. So but that's what they had to do. Because there were major engineering changes. The government, the Department of Homeland Security, identified it as significant changes necessitating treatment of the product as a new product. Therefore, it must go through the full evaluation and acceptance process prior to deployment.
Yep. Like I said, I know it would cost more and be a bitch with paperwork and all of that, but it would be worthwhile.
Oh, and that's another thing. In order for documentation changes, it's the same thing. That's why we don't do full document changes. We do tech bulletin updates.
Right.
And this stuff has been deployed for 12, almost 13 years now in the field. Think about how many tech bulletins there are.
Good God.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah, there will come a time when the American military will have to go fully modern with some of this stuff, and the latest generation of processors and stuff might make it tempting for them to start considering it, with all the multi-core processors becoming a hell of a lot cheaper.
So part of why a lot of defense contractors, especially in military applications, are hesitant to go to that level of computing is actually system hardening and protection from EMP and other radiation type hazards that would specifically target the processor and computing capabilities of the system.
Yeah, you have to take some very special care of your gear these days. If you're a military, because all of the it's going to be digital warfare. The next one, it's whoever can disable the enemy's network quicker is going to be the winner of the war, in my opinion.
Usually,
that's where it's going to be won and lost. Is whoever gets control of the digital landscape is going. It's kind of like having the new air superiority. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Digital superiority is definitely going to be a big thing soon.
Yeah. Well, I'd rank it up there as important as air superiority, I suppose.
Pretty close, at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, you would need both in the current battlescape when it comes to full and true nation-on-nation warfare. It's not just... It's not like in 91 where, yes, we had the technological advantage in both communication and ended up getting the air power domination. You would have to get both, and if we're going against a target that is a belligerent nation that is even close to on par, it's not going to be as easy as we have had it the last few times.
Is this an app question for me to ask Pig in the size live chat? Because watch what happens when I click the link, okay?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Pig. I think he copied it and set it up and didn't mean to hit enter on that side.
No,
because he posted the same exact message over in the live chat here.
I know he did.
Fucking goddamn Pig. But see, and here's the beauty of this stream and people like that. Yes, I know we go on for hours, people. Yes, I know it can be intimidating looking at the runtime. But seriously, if you're doing stuff around the house, cleaning up, doing typical household type shit, and you want to listen to something that the conversation flows naturally and goes to a ridiculous amount of topics, that's really what this is for. Because it's really the type of show that I would listen to as I'm doing shit around the house when I don't want to listen to other people bitching and moaning about stuff.
So you're saying you're a narcissist and you listen to your own show while you're doing motorcycle maintenance?
No. But so the other channels that I listen to that do similar things, Irate Bear and the Ghost Poo podcast.
Yes, I was just going to ask how many people watched that when we were talking about the band name. The what are they on the 137th album by the band named Mosque?
Something like that, yeah. But that's where having these out there, having different points of views, having the flexibility to talk about multiple subjects intelligently and coherently, unlike the fuckwit that we had on the show before this, it really is what I enjoy and look forward to having, because there are times it seems like we don't have much guidance, but really it goes off of what we've come across. And also, since we are winding down, since this stream over at Sci Strikes is going to be starting in, well, it's supposed to be starting in less than 10 minutes, I doubt that's going to happen.
Especially if Pig's running it.
Yeah. I would like to remind everyone, next week, same time, same channel for Veterans Talk Weekly, but we do have the special edition. Because what is next Saturday? Next Saturday is the second Saturday of the month. That means Canar with Damar.
And I get to be a part of it this time.
And also,
provided nobody calls out their BM for a ball or Kyo.
Yeah. Well, even then, we are looking at having a special guest of Progressive Liberal joining us on the stream this next episode. So, over the course of the next week, those of us on the panel, with the inclusion of Progressive Liberal, we will be in discussions to hone in on what specifically we are going to dissect, digest, and talk about from the Star Trek franchise. Or what other lore and sci-fi we decide to address at the time. Yes, it is Canar with Damar. Yes, it is predominantly Star Trek, but with all the stuff that's been coming out lately, we can start there, but again, we might branch off to some other connected project.
Oh, a stinky hood. Was I supposed to let other people guess that?
All right.
That might have helped.
Yeah. So when is it? I may be flying. Okay, so Furball, when are you flying back? If you can, U.S. time. You know what? Message us what your travel schedule is looking like in the dedicated chat for the show. There, Furball, and the time is not set for Canar with Damar. Normally it is 2000 UTC. We can adjust that as needed based on panel availability.
I know what that is.
That's your dosimeter, isn't it?
Yep. TLD.
Yeah. It's actually on the boomers. That's the nukes. We get the forward ones. We got a little square.
Yeah, so I have a square one that I wear at work. That's a whole body. I remember my dad having the cylinder type. So, with that, you guys have fun. Head over to Sci Strike and let's see what abomination Pig has in store for us. And try to be safe out there. I'd like to see most of you back. Unless, of course, it's you wished. I want them to have one more. See, my guess is 3.
I got him at 5, actually.
So at
That
least
is a horrible thing to make bets on.
But no, I was being serious. It is just fucking with them because a Pig came to me and was like, hey, go with it. This is what I told you wish, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun.
I know that. I knew he didn't tell me, but as soon as Pig started mentioning my name into it, I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna roll with this, pretending like I didn't know anything, but I'm panicking to look to see if I did, because I could have been drunk and said something foolish like that. No, I would have been sober.
Oh, I probably would have said something like that myself, but I wouldn't have been at all serious about it.
Ooh, I know what that is too.
Well, I'm a huge fan of gallows humor, so I think I approve of what's happened.
Well, when I let me say when you talk about gallows humor, if somebody tells you to stick your junk in between that opening right in the middle there, don't do it. Don't take it as a joke.
Wait. I was gonna say, is that part of the solid waste evacuation system?
That is part of the trash waste. Yeah.
Yeah, so like on for the trash, for the waste, you have your fluid, your solid, and your recyclable.
Recyclables?
I'm bored. So on the service ships, we had recyclables. We separated, and they literally pressed and melted them down to discs about the size of a laser disc.
The only thing we recycled was cardboard.
Mm.
Everything
we had
else.
plastic that got turned
Somebody
into
had to check
pumps,
for oil leaks under the
but those usually ended up
hydraulic.
being thrown overboard too.
Well, yeah, but it still went to the plastic reclamation plant first.
Yep.
We actually had plastics and aluminum cans, but most of it, yeah.
Oh no! So pro tip: if you want an easy way to track a surface fleet of the U.S. Navy, follow the trail of brown paper bags floating in the ocean.
Look, there's actually a patch off Australia after World War II. Like, you guys had a lot of gear here, and you just packed it all up, and you got a couple of 100 miles east of Australia, and someone had an idea. It's like, you know what? If we just get all this stuff and go over the side, we lighten the load of the boats, much less fuel burn. So they just got planes, ammunition, and just went yeet and threw the fucking thing off, right? And there's a patch of ground out there now that's so polluted because of the ammo and all of the fucking things going rotten that the fishermen have to avoid it. You can't go there to fish for fucking anything because it's just like, it's really this polluted patch where, as the fleet was sailing over it, they basically, everyone just went yeet and threw fucking all the planes, all of the ammo, anything that was left over that they could justify throwing off, old Jeeps, everything just went straight over the fucking side. They didn't give a shit. It's like, wow, okay. And there's footage of them pushing Corsairs off the side and fucking yeet fucking barrels of fucking ammo off the side. It's like, damn. And then what they didn't realise was after World War II, this thing called Army Surplus started up. My old man actually bought a couple of 42 WLA Harleys with the sidecars, olive green, parts wrapped in grease paper because they were shipped to Europe, didn't get used, and someone bought the whole lot and ended up selling them all over the world. They made a fortune. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that. You used to be able to see these things for sale on the back of some comics and certain magazines. It'd be all Army Surplus bikes and some Jeeps and other things, clothes.
Now, I remember hearing about it, and that's where, yeah. But anyways.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I got sidetracked. My apologies.
So with that, we will see you all later. And just remember, when they have a sign over this that says "Do not use," it's for good reason.
Yeah.
Later, all.
Or when the announcement that they're blowing